The ceiling fans? They're very attractive.
Get rid of that old mug. It's garbage. You want to drink out of a ceiling fan man mug. Brand new from Ronco. The Ceiling Fan Man mug. Get yours today. Have you ever dreamed of going to space? Well, you can't because it's fake, but you can get your very own Ceiling Fan Man mug. Proudly made in the exotic land of China.
China.
Your Ceiling Fan Man mug can hold cold liquid, hot liquid, granola, the TV remote. It can even stop a door from closing. Get yours today. Each Ceiling Fan Man mug comes with a commemorative box. Ooh. Order now and become your own legend by ordering a Ceiling Fan Man mug today.
But wait, there's more.
Any orders of 66 or more will get an exclusive personalized NFT of Ceiling Fan Man eating cereal. The Ceiling Fan Man mug. Get yours today. Don't be a loser.
Satellite tracking continues.
NFTs may no longer be available. Participation may vary by store. See store for details. See a doctor if your arrest persists more than a week.
Benson and the greatest American hero won't be seen tonight.
I don't believe it.
But they'll return soon.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Now stay tuned for the following special presentation.
Clickety-click.
Crank up the music. Keep an eye on the back.
This presentation is provided to you to amuse or entertain and not to conform or inform. The content on this channel should not be used to replace professional, financial, medical, or legal advice. All footage taken and used from public sources falls under the fair use of the Digital Millennial Copyright Act of 1998. Therefore, no breach of privacy or copyright has been committed. This show is substantially sourced, not affiliated with any community, club, fraternity, or gang. Your cat may vary. I say, moo.
My doctor said I have a case of onomatopoeia. And when I said to him, what does that mean? He told me it's exactly what it sounds like.
You explain this joke to me?
It isn't funny if you explain the joke.
Satellite tracking continues.
Wow. Wow. Hey, everybody. It's Friday night. Whoop, whoop. You made it again. You're on the right side of the correct tops of the top soil of the thing. You're up here on this side, not down there. So if nothing else, you've accomplished that. Pat yourself on the back if you can reach. You've at least accomplished that feat. And we were able to gather once again for a wonderful Friday night. And I'm really just so blessed that I can be the catalyst to bring everyone together tonight and get some of the insane out of the sanity, right? It's supposed to be the other way around, though, I think. Isn't it? I don't know. But it's great to see you all here. And Mad Pax, of course, he's already jamming. And what's that, honey? Hello, Jennifer Sickler. Is that what you said? Okay. Hello, Jennifer. Okay. Hello. Let me turn the camera on and then, yeah, the time is flying by. I swear we were just gathered together, but here we are. And so here we are. So, and there's Abby Normal. I'm getting all kinds of regular people's in here. Let me see. Let me turn the camera on so we can get the show on the road, as they say. Let's see, which button is this button?
Clickety click.
Hey, everybody, good to be seen by you all. Once again, here we are. And I've said it twice now, so I had Invoker.
And so here we are.
Fantastic. It's wonderful to be gathered again tonight. And like I said, it seems like the weeks are flying by. But we made it again and got some stuff to talk about tonight and just have a good old time. So I'm really happy that you're here and there's other people showing up still. So, and if you do like what you see, please don't forget to hit that like button, share and subscribe, all that stuff. And to get out of the way, the part, the money and all that, this is run completely on donations. So there are places you can look in descriptions and so forth for PayPal, Cash App, got all that stuff if you feel so inclined. And if you don't worry about it. Just sit and enjoy yourself. And like I said, share the show if you find it interesting or funny or both. So there. Let's see. I think we got to get everyone. And I got a birthday coming up. Happy birthday. And did I say hi to who you said, Jeannie? We're good there. And then I'm not sure who Wenjo is, but I'm glad Wenjo sent you. So got constantly new names. So who's that? Tim West, first time. I think I grabbed that one on the intro. And then El Barto is here. Haven't caught your thing in a while there, so good to see you. So some K. And let's see, they get most everybody, and Shane is here now, so that's good. The room's filling up, and David's having some joy, which is wonderful. And okay, I think we've got, here you are. Here I am. We got another new person, Vincent Vincent Baigini. So welcome. Yeah. And let's see, they get everybody. Trey, let's see. Oh, the stylish shirt, huh? Yeah, this is an old school shirt. I don't know. Do we sell these anymore? I don't even know. We have a store you can look. So a lot of the stuff is like no longer being made. Like that mug that's shown. There's different mugs. I mean, there's this one is really cool, but that one I have in that commercial. That's a collectible. It's no longer around. I only have one left. It's on the shelf behind me because all of them broke except for that one. So, and Scott's just popping in and listening. Okay, good to see you. Peace and joy to you too. And let's see, I think got everybody here, did we? Let's see. And Sweets, thank you very much. And Jeannie, you're already getting love in the chat, so of course, thank you for that. She thanks you too. And the toaster oven question. Wait a minute, I got questions. What's a question you can ask a toaster oven? What do you think of that, Jeannie? Yeah. I have questions. Are they safe? There you go. Is there a best setting to toast? I don't know, but welcome in. And JT sent Tim, wonderful. Good to see you. One of these days, his dance card is so full, but one of these days I'll get him back over here because I really enjoy our chats together. So hopefully one day soon. Okay, so I think they get everybody. Roger's here, and hello everyone. Old name here, Dale. Okay, and Zabian was sent by himself. Nice. Okay, all right. Well, we could do this all night, but I want to at least get the show started. So, because the chat is just flying. I don't even know how. You're not quite tardy yet. I really actually haven't started the show, Batty Commander. So. But yeah, I'm just trying to get through the chat so I can start this thing up. Let's fire it up. So, do the toaster oven spy on us? Possibly. Well, that's a question you can ask the toaster oven question person. Do the toaster oven spy on us? So, a giant tree is back from his break, and all right. Didn't know trees took breaks, but there we go. And okay, what's this? I'm leaving you out. Bruce, how could I ever leave Bruce out? I don't have, did I have that? Oh, I think I had to make room for it. So I don't have that, drop, or do I? Well, I'll look for it later, but welcome in, Bruce. Okay. So let's see, where should we go? And I enjoy spending Friday night with all you lovely people too. Ah, yes. And coffee has made it, so we can actually start the show now. So there we go. Okay. So where should we go? Let's start with. Well, let me pour some coffee here. Okay, so get that going. And it's funny because years ago when I started this, I can't believe we've been doing this for years now. I used to drink beers, and the show got more and more kind of illegible. I don't know, hard to understand towards the end of it. So, and we don't drink in this house anymore. So coffee is my whatever. That's my drink now. Okay, everyone, let's get this show started. Let's see what's been going on today. Let's start with, and for those of you that are new, so basically what I like to do, I like to cover the news of the day, but in my way to kind of break it down and make it less fearful and understanding it better. And then also this show is based in, well, people would call it Christian values, but I don't like being associated to any particular group or religion. But I do go off of the teachings that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one gets to God without going through him. And I also believe in the Bible is very knowledgeable. There's a lot of good information in there, and I highly recommend people read it. But other than that, I just go over different topics that I can think of. And sometimes there's more interesting topics than others. I play games and stuff, but it just depends on my mood and how much time I had this week. So having said all that, let's get this started. And I do like my drops, so there you go. Where should we start? We'll start at the beginning. I did want to cover just a few things left over. So the last show that I did was what I think was the third. And so we had not Halloween. We had 4th of July. 4th of July. And everyone celebrated the 250, all that. So I didn't get to play these because they came after, but I just wanted to, like, honorable mentions kind of thing. This is really cool. Where is this town? This is in I can't remember what town it is. Doesn't matter, but it's a small town. And what they do for fireworks, instead of everyone shooting off fireworks, they have this parade of fire trucks and things go by, and everyone throws water balloons and sprays hoses on each other. I can't play the music because it's copyrighted. But yeah, so check that out. I thought this was a cool way of having a 4th without like blowing stuff up. And so what a fun, this is the thing that COVID tried to stop. And it seems like we're back where people are exploring, hanging out with each other and having a good time, and the old neighborhood kind of stuff that like we used to do. So I just wanted to show this because I thought it was just a great showcase of how you really can be in society. Because, you know, the politicians and everyone want to make you think that we're all supposed to hate each other and fight each other. And yet that's not in our nature. This is in our nature. And how fun is this? So, all right. So enough of that one. Let's go to this one here. And I made a joke because everything that Trump does, it's like the most amazing, most incredible, never been before, done whatever. Meanwhile, he did this explosion of 4th of July fireworks that just, it went on forever. And he did. Apparently he broke records and had the most fireworks ever shot in one show or something. So whatever you want to say, without getting into politics, the fact that, and not getting into truth or saying, you know, this is really celebration of the little season and Satan, the whole idea that the patriotism, even if you don't agree with the things that your country is doing, the feeling that you have of being proud of where you live really shined through, not just in the 4th of July celebrations, but actually even more with the World Cup that's going on, because people from all over the world are falling in love with the United States, with our culture, with our food. And they're saying that, you know, everyone's friendly to them and things. So it's the exact opposite of what the media is trying to explain is going on. So it's just nice to see that feeling is back, regardless, again, whatever you believe politically, or, you know, how you feel that we're mishandling things and bombing people that we shouldn't be, most likely. But putting that aside, you can still get this feeling. 850,000 munitions were shot up. So anyways, enough of that. Let's see how the war in Iran is going. Actually, this isn't the war in Iran. This is this is more 4th of July celebrations, and this is why some people shouldn't do them. Let's just say that. Incoming. don't know why this video makes me laugh. I really think my favorite part is when the second bomb hits the street, the alarms are going off in all the cars. Can you imagine living here? You would have thought you were under attack. That's why I said, how's the war in Iran going? And I didn't amplify these sounds. These are the sounds that came out. I don't know what happens because it cuts out there. Maybe they booked out of town. But yeah. So there you go. Happy 4th of July. So, and I wanted to cover the weather. We've been having a lot of weird weather, and it's been really hot over on the East Coast. And, sorry, not sorry. We've actually had really nice weather over here on the Pacific Northwest. So the highest it's getting is like in the 70s, 60s, 70s. We did have a few hot days, but nothing like what you guys are having. But this guy, I check out his channel about weather things, and it's called Max Velocity. And he posted this, and he had the caption, "Can we stop?" And I was like, wait a minute, because that sort of looks like something. And so I'm like, why did he write, "Can we stop?" And then I looked at some of the past ones that the Weather Channel, because this is through the Weather Service or whatever. See, it's Northwest Storm Predictions. And these are the ones that they have been showing. And for some reason, they all seem very phallic shaped. So he got, somebody wrote, "Is it a serious question? Is it actually science anymore? The amount of phallic storms is kind of disturbing." And that's why he wrote this one, "Can we just stop?" But then after I showcased these two, he wrote again today, and he wrote, "Tomorrow's severe threat has grown." I don't know, man. And it's nothing new. I mean, for those of you that are new to me, you probably haven't seen my where is it? Let's see. It's on here. I'll grab it real quick. Because for some reason, this universe, or whatever you want to say, is running this show. They really like their where is it? They really like their phallic symbols in weather, especially. And so that's how you end up with, where is it? Clickety click. See, I have proof on the things they talk about. I always have the receipts. This is what they did over our house a few years back.
All satellites operative, Captain.
You better take a look at this radar.
Okay, come on, people. Now they're just literally dicking with us. For reals? I came out here to photograph the moon in the daytime. It's out more than it is at night. And they decided to spray a giant. Well, you tell me.
But it looks like a giant.
What? Come on. Come on.
What's coming out of it?
Come on, people. This is just a clown. When are we going to wake up? What's this called? Shoot the moon. I think they're going to try to hide this now that I've exposed it. They've got one of their invisible planes.
It's already exposed.
Wonder Woman is in this one. If I can focus.
It all seems like there's a hand underneath the balls. Seriously.
All right, well, let me look at that. That's a really cool, whatever that is. We won't be able. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. There's some cuppage, definite cuppage. Hey.
Try to get them block the moon from getting What's going on?
That's a moon condom.
smooth shot.
For those of you keeping score, the cloud cock, as we're now proudly calling it, has gotten larger, girthier, but still being held in a gentle caress by a little darker, just grayish cloud.
But with two balls.
Satellite tracking continues. So yeah, that one never gets old. They sprayed that right over our house. So okay. It was a very happy cloud. Yeah, all the rockets, same thing. Toaster oven questions. All the rockets, same thing. W2H, exactly. So yeah, there was cuppage. Okay. All right. Where are we at? Enough of that tomfoolery. Let's go back to where to go. There we go. So there. Now, how about this story? This is over in China, as my president likes to say. In China, they had a typhoon, which caused a flood, which then caused the release of 900 snakes. A lot of them poisonous, king cobras and such. There's a king cobra. And it's too late. The video's playing. This is, to me, I mean, yeah, go chase them down. Local volunteers are working to capture them. Good luck with that. 900 of these things released. If this doesn't sound biblical, so you got the flood, that's a plague, and then you got snakes, right? That's probably a plague. If it isn't, it is now. So, yeah, so besides the flood, and you know what, Jeannie? The next video has even worse on the snakes. So, warning, there's gonna, what do I say? Warning, there'll be snakes in this. Warning, this could give you nightmares. How do I know that, though? What do we have? Do I have a warning? I don't think I have a warning. Let's see. What do we have? Warning. No warning. Yeah, I'm coming up blank. So I guess we'll just have to go with what I said. There's a warning. Yeah, none of these seem to work. You got the tiger, I guess. That doesn't really fit.
That makes no sense.
Whatever. All right, you've got your warning. All right, let's go back. 900 snakes released, and now they're trying to capture them one by one. Look at this nightmare video. Is it this one or is it the next one? Let's see. Yeah, it's this one. All right, we covered this one. There. I gave the best warning I could give. I don't know what else. Let's check this out. Those are snakes. Those are all snakes. You're not looking at it? Ah, geez. So let's all say a pit of hell. That's what Dana says. She needs pit of hell. So let's all say a prayer for the people over there in China and that they get this resolved soon. So there you go. Okay. Enough with this snake train. Okay. What's this one? Oh, no, it's interesting how the universe works. My wife and I were just discussing things like this. Oh, AB Normal says burn it all down. Yeah, kill it with fire. Excuse me. Okay. We were just talking about this, about robots and what they can do. Because we were discussing, one of our sons is an electrician, and I was like, well, that's a job I doubt a robot could ever do. And Ginny said, well, don't forget, there are already robots that a human can use a robotic system virtually and do surgery. That's already happening. But now they've got, where was this project being held? UC San Diego. They're operating on a pig, but there's no human involved in this. This is 2 robots doing gallbladder surgery on a pig. So we're getting closer. We're not quite at Skynet yet, but we're on our way. What's that? Oh, geez. Thank you. Definitely Cuppage. Yeah, we get rid of that comment. Thank you. How come nobody else helped me with that? You chat. What's the matter with you all? Okay, what's next? So, yeah, the robots are now performing operations without human control, and we'll see where this goes. Okay. That's embarrassing. I left that comment up. Okay. What's next? And the things that I find funny, I put on the screen. And if you find them funny, that'd be great. But it's mostly for my amusement. So the joke on this is this guy's asking this question: would you rather be gay or a gamer? And by editing, everyone says gay because they both start with the same. See, so you'll get the joke.
Would you rather be gay or would you rather be a gamer?
A gay.
Would you rather be gay or a gamer?
A gay.
Would you rather be gay or a gamer? Gay or a gamer?
A game.
Gay or a gamer? Gay or gamer?
Personally, game.
Gay or gamer?
Game.
Would you rather be gay or a gamer?
I'd rather be a game.
Would you rather be gay or a gamer?
I'd rather be a game.
Would you rather be gay or a gamer?
Game.
Gay or gamer?
Game.
Would you rather be...
So scored it up 9-0. Shocking. Okay. And then there's this. Now I get it. A lot of the food in America is poisonous. I understand that. So the best thing you can do is fall in love. No, the best thing you can do is to eat as few as chemicals as possible and try to manage your diet and whatever. Having said that, there's a lot of these dishes that are coming out for this World Cup. And this was just introduced at, what fair was this? This is at the Iowa State Fair. It's vanilla ice cream dipped in butter and then salt sprinkled on it. And all I know is, I'm sure we all just gained like 5 pounds looking at this video, but I bet it's amazing. Right? It does look delicious. It does look delicious. It's just, and if that wasn't enough, we'll give you one more. Walmart has decided to finally figure this out, and they're now making chocolate chip cookies that you bake like a pizza. Because who doesn't need a pizza-sized chocolate chip cookie, right? What do you mean toaster oven? No, thank you. Why? Because it's not in a toaster? Is that it? But yeah, probably even better with some MSG sprinkles. Says everyone's hating on this, Jeannie. I'm not telling y'all to go out there and eat it. I'm just saying it looked damn good. That's all. That's why this stuff tastes so good. It's all bad. What's that, hon? Overindulgence. Well, that's why all this stuff tastes so good. Is because it's so bad for you. That's why all the Europeans are coming over here, falling in love with our food. But then they look at our like bread on the shelves, and there's 11 ingredients instead of just like bread and water or yeast and water, flour. Yeah. All right. So enough of that. Enough of the poison on this channel. Okay. Okay. Thank you. See, was it Jenny said she wants to try the ice cream cone too? So she's on board, Jeannie. What's that? Yeah, we got to try it. We'll try to get together and let's all have that together. We'll eat it on camera. So, all right. What's next? The World Cup is taking everyone by storm. And of course, I love dogs and I love talking about the World Cup. And it connects together with this because this dog definitely thinks this guy's kicking the ball to him. I like when he kicks it, he goes in the other room. How fantastic is that? I love dogs. Psych. Poor dog. Never did find that ball, did he? But yeah, so the World Cup is the stage right now. And I got news for you. We're enjoying it. I was never into soccer. They always made fun of it here. We were football is our soccer, right? Or whatever you call it. And so I started, Jeannie and I would watch some game here or there. And we find them fascinating. They're fun. They're exciting. Yeah, they roll around and do a lot of drama that we don't really care for. But other than that, it's incredible that these athletes, I mean, they go back and forth on the pitch, as they call it, those in the know. They go back and forth on this the whole time. I mean, now they have some, what do you call it? Refreshments. Thank you, hon. Hydration. They have hydration breaks, but even that, they're not that long. And so even the referees have to be in tip-top shape because they're constantly running back and forth and moving. And so there's only a few games left. And but this one guy, he's definitely taking the world by storm. They play tomorrow, which I can't wait for. It's a what is that, hon? It's Norway and who they play? England, I think. I have that right? I don't know. But yeah. And let's see. And the guy that has just become like the golden child that everybody talks about or wants to showcase is this really, yeah, I get it. They're all rigged, but they're still fun to watch because, you know, it's just like movies and TV and stuff. The reason that these people are put in these positions is they're very good at their craft. So it can be entertaining. Bread and circus and nobody revolts, right? But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, and there's probably magnets, and yeah, I get it. But this one dude is fascinating to watch. It's this Holland from Norway. He's like really tall, 6 something, and he's just constantly kicking in these balls, and he comes across as very likable, and so he's sort of become the golden child. And so this is a whole bunch of memes they put together. I had to change the music for copyright reasons, but so that's the guy. And anyways, he does some amazing kicks and stuff. It's pretty fascinating to watch. So but wait, I've got to thank Jason Jones 1979 and for a $5 super sticker. God bless you. Thank you so much. That's very, very, very much appreciated. And welcome. So yeah, so that's the main dude of this show. But where are we at here? Let's see. We got the dog. We got him. Well, I thought this was interesting too. This is this guy's showing up everywhere now. I can't think of his name right now. See if it says it on here. Whoops. Uh-oh. What'd we do? Go back in there. There we go. Shane Gillis, I think, something like that. But I just like what he said here.
So now it's me, Trump, and Ivanka. They're not talking to me, obviously, but I can overhear what they're saying. And Trump goes, Ivanka, how would you like to meet the president of soccer? And
he does a really good Trump impersonation, honestly. And Shane Gillis. Thank you, Marcus.
And sure enough, the president of FIFA soccer was also in the suite with us. He was getting like nachos. And Donald Trump just looks at him and goes, "You." And the guy put his plate down and walked straight to us. And then Donald Trump didn't even look at him. He just kept talking to his daughter, and he goes, "This is the president of soccer." And they gave us the World Cup, and they did that because of me. And then he walked out of the room. It was just me and the president of FIFA looking at each other like.
So, well, love him, hate him, or somewhere in between, or nothing. All I know is this: if he is the main catalyst of bringing the World Cup, I'm happy because it's showcasing us in such a great light. Other countries that thought that we were this terrible person or country, they're falling in love with it, and so and then we're enjoying the games too. So I know it's a bread and circus, but hey, it's new. And yeah, the ego is insane. He's putting his name on everything. In fact, I just had, where is it? Let's see. Let me stop this. That's the other thing. He's the biggest troll that ever was. And one of the things he's doing, even though he's only in supposedly for 4 years, but although he's making comments already that he's going to try to stay in. Where is it? Let's see. Here it is. I think it's this one. Clickety click. Go there. Let's get rid of that. Where are we at? Sorry, everybody. I'm putting this together here as we go. Oh, that one needs to go with over here. So we'll move that to this. There's a couple things came in just as I was firing up the show, as they say. Is this it? Okay, yeah, here it is. Clickety click. Oh, we gotta get. See, I still got the comment on there, Jeannie. You gotta get better at this. And oh wait, that's a new comment. How'd that one get in there? No, here it is. After the party with Captain Alien. God bless you, good. Well, God bless you, good sir. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated, and will help feed the dogs. Okay, so yeah, I talked about that. It really, he does. There was who was it that saw him live and then drew a drawing of him. I think it was like Prince or something, and drew a drawing of Trump or of Elvis, and it looked just like Trump. So yeah. But where were we? We were oh yeah, he's trolling, did this. Look at what he just did. This happened today. So he's got his in Florida. He got his name on an airport, and in Tennessee he got his name on a bridge. And I already showed you he's his picture and his signature in every passport now, and his signature is going to be on the money coming up, and it's just it's everywhere. He's putting his name on all the buildings and stuff. So what is this? Okay, let's go back over here. Okay, so we're talking about Trump. Everybody does. Oh, this I forgot this one. This person thinks their green onion looks like Holland. Well, you can't do the music. A lot of people are posting their green onions. So there you go. Anyways, enough with that. Are we done with the whole Trump thing, I guess? Yeah. We'll get rid of that one. I did want to mention this. This was huge when we were in high school. Bonnie Tyler had a few songs. Of course, she had We Need a Hero from Footloose, but her biggest hit obviously was the Total Eclipse of the Heart. And so her character just died yesterday, I think it was, right? And so they're playing all these music of her and stuff. And they came across this. And, because this is a channel that goes deeper than just the regular news story and questions the narrative. And so you've got Lost in France. She did this, a DVD of her, she had a hit song Lost in France. Her first DVD tour was released on the same July 9th, which like yesterday. And in it, she travels from France to Morocco. And yesterday, France beat Morocco. So how many coincidences before it's a pattern? So anyways, I get inspired on certain things. And I remember as a teenager, whenever this song came out, because MTV was kind of new. And so, oh, thank you, Isabella. Let me grab that and say hi. We'll go clickety click. Go here. There you are. Yeah, let's take this off. Trump and Elvis look similar, right? Exactly. So let's go back. I think it was Jimi Hendrix. That's who it was. He saw Elvis and he drew a picture, and it looks like Trump. I showed it last week, I believe. So let's go back. What were we talking about? Oh, Bonnie Tyler. So MTV was brand new. And we were really I was anyways, in California, caught up. And you go to someone's house and it would just be on in the background. And then they'd have a world premiere video of something. And you'd watch it because they always did the most unique things in these videos. And they always try to make the next one bigger and crazier than the last one. And they do a world premiere video. A ceiling fan man world premiere video. They do something like that. So in any case, I got inspired, and I thought about I just remember the Total Eclipse of the Heart song video was just kind of crazy. I remember her being like in a castle or something, and a bunch of dudes dancing around and all kinds of stuff. But I didn't remember the symbolism that was in it. And I got to the point that I realized, because I wanted to just do my own version, sing and remake the video. But then I realized that it's, and where's she going? Then where it gets real creepy. Now I've watched enough of Supernatural, and those are demonized. Now, when I first saw this years ago, they're like angelic kids. But what is this? Where'd it go? Where'd they go? The demon children. I don't understand. It keeps missing it. It's meeting all the people, and what happens? The one crazy, creepy kid shows up with his where is it? With his demon eyes, and any case, that's the music video, and they're all kind of weird, but that one's very particularly weird. So yeah, I'm probably not going to remake that. But rest in peace, Bonnie Tyler. I don't know what her story is. I don't know if some of these people can be saved later, or if they find Jesus. I don't know what this, because she kind of disappeared. You really didn't hear much about her after this time frame. So who knows? Who knows? Agent Smith does that in The Matrix, Marcus. Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. Enough of that. What is this? And speaking of idols, and that's the thing, God says to have no idols. That's the thing. And so we've always, through media and through our culture and stuff, we put these people up on pedestals and idols, and idolize them because they're talented at their craft. It's, it's a craft. It tells you right there. And here's one I haven't heard or seen anything about this guy in decades. Barry Manilow.
While on a last-minute trip to the grocery store to pick up some hot dogs and some relish, a few other things, on the 4th of July in Palm Springs, California, I spotted one of the best recording artists of all time. Do you guys recognize this music legend? Maybe I'll just leave him alone. I usually go in for the soundbite, but today...
I wanted to wish you guys a happy 250th. Yeah, I'm Joe, Joy of Everything, and I'm a huge fan. And I'm here in Palm Springs celebrating the phenomenal, 4th of July. And, it's rare to see Barry Manilow. Okay. Does he want to comment on the birthday of, no? Okay. Take care, guys. Have a great one. Thanks for the music. No, sir.
So the reason that I wanted to showcase this, and I was into Barry Manilow, I'm not ashamed to say it. But the reason I want to showcase this is He wants to get away so bad.
No soundbite with Barry Manilow, guys.
That he goes to the car, and I'm going to count with you. How many times it's like that joke they always do where like it happens in my life, my real life all the time. My wife, I do this too accidentally. You try to open the door and it's locked, and then you try to unlock it, and they're trying to open the door and you can't unlock it. Look how many times he tries to open this door to get the hell out of here because this guy's got a camera in his face.
Guys, I tried.
There's one.
To get
2, 3.
His reaction to the 250th birthday.
I feel bad for him.
Of the USA.
5,
Palm Springs.
6.
Music recording.
Let me in this car. So there you go. There's your Barry Manilow sighting. It's kind of like Bigfoot. You really don't, he finds you, you don't find him. So, okay. And then this came across my desk, and I didn't even know what's going on here. So this is a statue that's been named Strange Lizzie. And it's in Roosevelt Park in Colorado. And I don't even understand it. There's a story that talks about, made up story about a citizen during Vice President Theodore Roosevelt's famous night train visit. I don't know. But none of this storyline makes sense to why they have this creature
This is
here.
a Veterans Memorial. And they have this strange thing here.
So it's got a lizard face, dragon, demon, whatever you want to call it, and hooves. Now tell me that's not some weird demonic thing going on there, right? Why is this here?
She has hoofs. And a Lizzie face.
They say it's supposed to be a giraffe, but it's a stretch. It's a stretch. So in any case, what is this thing? As my friend Steve would say, no bueno. It's a very lizard-looking giraffe, I must say. So, all right. Yeah, maybe it's the Queen. Is that the hat the Queen would wear? Maybe it is a version of the Queen. It could be. So, all right. And let's not forget that there's a declassified CIA document claiming they discovered the Ark of the Covenant in the Middle East and is now being guarded by entities. And you can look these things up. But, yeah, the target is now protected by entities, whatever that means. It can only be opened now by those who are authorized to do so. This container will not and cannot be opened until the time is deemed correct. That sounds very biblical. Once it's time to open the container, the mechanics of the lock system will be found to be fairly simple. Hey, hon, I don't know where you are. There's an alarm going off down there. So, okay. And I was having this discussion with one of my sons just recently that there's a whole, I'm not going to say Middle Earth, but we don't know where the ground level is anymore. There's been so many people want to call them resets. I believe we're in the little season, pizza, and which means revelation happened. So all kinds of destruction has happened to this plane that we exist on. And things are buried that we're still discovering. And there's an entire, not just tunnel system, but roads and buildings and all kinds of things. There's a whole other city beneath Seattle that the narrative goes, there was a giant fire and destroyed everything. And rather than rebuild it, they somehow paved over it, added dirt. Where did the dirt come from? And they covered everything up and they built on top of that. I'm supposed to be the one that sounds nuts. And yet that sounds ridiculous to me. How do you bury a city and why? It doesn't make any sense. And then this gentleman was on whatever podcast this is.
So wait, that there's no tunnel? Wait, you're going off there.
Well, there's tunnels, obviously, but
I got one in
you got to
front.
cut that out.
This is Michael Rappaport.
I can't say that I'm admitting that because they talk about the tunnels in
They
Brooklyn.
did find tunnels in Brooklyn.
Yes, but no one's ever publicly said that there are Jewish tunnels in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I would like you to cut that out.
I will cut that out. I'll give you the whole episode. You can prove it.
Okay.
Now it's on camera.
Okay, cut that out. There's no one's ever said, I'm saying it, and I know you're going to cut it out, that there are Jewish tunnels, exclusively Jewish tunnels in.
We can't talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it.
Well, you've never been in it. So that's the thing. You didn't even know about it, let alone being in.
But you say I can't keep it in.
I'm kidding. Keep it in. That's a good clip.
What's a Jewish tunnel?
What's a Jewish tunnel? What's a Los Angeles Jewish tunnel?
Like it goes right under the cantors? You got a fucking table? Where are we at?
I'm sorry,
what are we talking about?
It starts at Cantors.
What match ball? They're open past midnight now.
It starts at Cantors, and then I mean, this is 2026. So originally, it just started at Cantors.
Yeah, that shit goes all the way to Factors.
Factors, and then we're going right to Paramount.
Yeah,
Warner Brothers. When there's traffic, you could walk through the Jewish tunnels and skip traffic.
Wait,
the 405 ain't got shit on the Jewish tunnels.
How you claim them as Jewish tunnels.
Not claim them; they are Jewish tunnels.
So what are they used for?
Jews moving things around, carting things around.
So you're saying this is true?
Yes, Jewish tunnels of Los Angeles. This breaking news. The Jewish tunnels of Los Angeles are real. I've been in there. Every Jew has been in there many times.
Say word.
I have not, but I do. There's enough videos to prove that there's you see semi trucks driving around down there. There's roads. There's all kinds of things all over this plane. And by the way, they cussed a couple of times, and sometimes I have to clip that. And so if you're watching this later and it's missing, it's because of that. But yeah, so that's the thing. They you can find still on YouTube and other places these tunnel systems. They go on for days. You can travel, I think, across the country from one end to another in these tunnels. Let's see if I have a truck in underground tunnel. Let's see what you get. And here's the first one. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Go here. Clickety click. Let's see.
Where he started mining, and then this would have been how he drove the tunnels underground. So there's 21 buildings. Most of them we lease out. 2 of them currently we're operating as cold zone, where it's our team, our forklifts, but other people's product. And I'm leading that operation a little more hands-on.
Mining this underground, do you have to own the ground above?
So you can see this just goes on forever. So there is a Middle Earth, because it's where Earth was before some destruction happened, and the narratives that they give us, basically our history all seems to start in the 1800s. We can't really get many records before that. And they, oops, let me get rid of that. Clickety click. Yeah, the fact that these things all exist and all these buildings, what did we had? We had what I believe was the 1,000-year reign of Christ. And if we're in the little season, he's going to want to make that seem like it didn't happen.
Pizza.
And we have the 1,000 years of the Dark Ages. So we're supposed to believe that we evolved all the way up until the Dark Ages, and then for like 1,000 years, nobody accomplished anything. We forgot how to do everything. And then boom, the Renaissance happened, and suddenly we're building these incredible structures that we can't even reproduce today. Everyone was a master architect. In addition to that, we have the music and everything came out all of a sudden. And so really there's no history that we have prior to that. All the buildings are founded or started around then, and there's no description of why they had all these insane asylums and how giant they were, and who were the people filled in there. Were they the people that were speaking out against this, like I'm doing now, and they got put in there and they took their children? Because suddenly we have all these orphans going all over. You have orphan trains. You got they were selling babies at the World's Fair, right? The incubator babies. Then there's stories about Cabbage Patch. I mean, it's on and on and on. And they don't explain it properly in our history. Whereas if you start putting in some of these other ideas, like what I talk about on this channel, then it starts making sense.
That makes no sense.
Actually, it does. It makes perfect sense. That's what I think.
Now, who can argue with that? Robert!
So, yeah, these tunnels exist. And they even talked about, I think it was it Playboy Mansion, Hugh Hefner, and all the roads that went to all the different like famous houses and stuff. You know, they talk about they use them for mining. They talk about they use them for trafficking. They talk about how they they had the secret railroad during the slave days or something. I mean, they've mentioned all these different uses for them, but they didn't talk about who actually built them. Everyone just kind of used them. And to this day, they're still using them. And so the fact that all this stuff was already there, what happened to us? How come there's a whole like generational gap where we forgot how to do stuff? I mean, why could they build these crazy structures back then with horse and buggy and hand tools that we can't build today? And if we did, it would take us a ridiculous amount of time. And some of these things they say were built within a year. You know, everyone suddenly was a master craftsman, and they knew what they were doing. It's and all the designs usually they're won in a contest. Like they entered a contest and somebody won. So I'm not buying any of it, just so you know.
No, thank you.
Yeah, military dumbs, like how those, you know, yeah, exactly. All right, let's get back into this here. Did I have another clip down here that I wanted to play? Where is it? Oh, well, you know what? We're a good hour into the show, and we haven't seen the What Is That Girl? Where are you, What Is That Girl? Here you are.
Why stop comfort at the living room?
What is
Here,
that?
every moment is soft. Every detail, warm.
What is that?
This is luxury everywhere.
Now, if you're old enough like me, people had this stuff. They covered their toilets in carpet, right? Or whatever those are. Right, Jeannie?
Why stop comfort at the living room?
What is
Here,
that?
every moment is soft. Every detail, warm.
What is that?
This is luxury everywhere.
So there you go. That's your What Is That Girl for this week. Let's see. Although she did do a good one on pandas last week.
I think pandas are sus.
Is my parents' dog moonlighting as Panda?
What is that? What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
That's my question. What is that? It says pandas are sus. Just saying. Okay. What's next? We got the What Is That Girl? Let's see. We'll go back to the screen share here. And I don't know. There's always at least one person. I put this back into the rotation in case you want to see the cat fly through the room.
What the just happened?
What is that? Okay. And this is a conversation my wife and I have had many times in the last few years. They've taken the color away from us in life. Right, Jeannie? I mean, and I'm not going to play the music to this, but look at cars used to have color. They were cool. Now we get black, white, and gray and versions of that, right? I mean, maybe some of these fashions should go away, but still, they were very colorful. And the awnings, everything's just, look at that. What was the name of that store? Was that Bed Bath & Beyond? Or one of those? Everybody had these. We still have one of these color crock pots. Love it. You look at the restaurants and the food courts. It's just dull and drab. It's like we're in prisons. I mean, we always have probably been in a prison, but now they're making it more noticeable. And, and the colors on this isn't even a good one. This is like in the 70s, this fridge would have been green and maybe that oven. So, and the dishwasher. But yeah, and there's a warmth that's missing to it, Okay, some things shouldn't come back. I agree, and the whole legging thing and the torn shirt and all that, fine. But still, there was more color in the 80s than there is now. Even the houses, so they look like our kitchen. So, yeah, look at that. And that's got to be, what do you think, early 90s, maybe late 80s? It's hard to say. I'm not up on that exactly. Yeah, look at that. And they had paneling on the walls, and they had wallpaper. Things we don't have. Now, right there, that says it all. This was driving 100%. I don't know what this is. So this was hanging around driving, and this is traveling or something. I don't know what the difference is, but in any case, they've killed our color, and I wonder if it'll ever come back. But and then for those of you that were in town for the World Cup, 7-Eleven had a 60th birthday, and they sold a 16.5-inch Slurpee for $4.
What is that thing?
Our drinks were already big for the World Cup people. Look at the size of that. It's probably all the calories you need for a week.
How much was it?
$3.99.
Holy. You can drive and drink and be hands-free.
Slurpees all the time now. So this.
Anyways, I thought that was pretty good. All right. And then I've talked about this before on this show. In fact, I'll put up my disclaimer. Where is it? I'm not here to give you medical advice. I am experimenting on myself, and Jeannie and I are experimenting. We do like raw milk. We don't like it homogenized and pasteurized and all that stuff, the eyes that they do anymore. It takes everything out of it. They're just drinking like white colored water. And I found it interesting that in the UK, they're starting to wake up over there. So full fat milk sales have been on the rise, and whole milk, full fat yogurt, blocks of butter, because people are avoiding processed food. And what's interesting is it's like in my lifetime, they told us butter was bad, eat margarine, which is just like, that processed oil. And then they found out that margarine was actually worse for you, and they told you to go back to butter. And so what I can say is this: if it's a natural product, it's going to be better for you than something that's synthesized, processed, whatever. But having said that, everything in moderation. If all you did was just eat a ton of butter and milk, you'll probably gain weight and it would be unhealthy. But everything in moderation. But, we use real things here. We stop using any of the fake processed stuff as best we can, obviously. We are thinking about getting that ice cream dipped in butter. But in any case, I found this interesting that there's a sort of a backlash that's starting. And I hope it continues. I really do. Okay. So, I guess we should get rid of that scroll. There. Okay. So we got that. And this is an interesting thing that's happening right in front of us, and most people don't realize it's happening. But this is an interesting idea behind what they're doing to our fruit and vegetables. Seedless grapes, seedless tangerines, seedless watermelon.
We are slowly getting rid of all seeds in fruits and vegetables. And honestly, it's brilliant. Because once every apple, grape, watermelon, and tomato is seedless, guess who controls life itself? No more planting your own food. No more saving seeds for next season. Everything you eat, everything that grows, will come from our labs. And when the last natural seed is gone, that's when it gets fun. We can make them rare, expensive, maybe even licensed. Only billionaires that will have gardens, and everyone else will have to subscribe to eat. Sounds insane, right? But it's already happening. Seedless isn't convenience, it's containment. Every time you pick up a seedless fruit, you're holding a future that can't reproduce. So yeah, expect more seedless, everything. Because the easiest way to control the world is to stop it from growing. So remember to stay safe out there.
You got to throw that in there. But yeah, isn't that something? Because that's the thing, since once we started doing this stuff ourselves, I started realizing that you can take a pineapple and you can cut the top off and you can regrow a pineapple from it. You can take an apple and pull out the seeds and get trees from it. You can do it with oranges. You can take garlic. You can use the garlic and take the centerpiece and stick that in the soil and get more garlic. Like, there's so many things. And don't get me started on potatoes. When we grew potatoes, one potato, all those little eyes that grow out of it, you can cut a potato in multiple sections and get not just different potato plants, but within each potato plant, there's multiple potatoes that come off of it. They're a very easy thing to grow: garlic, onions, and potatoes. And so, yeah, I can see how that's a way of control if they get it so they make everything seedless for our convenience. Everything seems to be for our convenience as they slowly close the grid in on us. But in any case, let me get to thank you very much. God bless you. Chad, thank you very much for the super sticker. And oh, he did too. Thank you very much. You changed color. Nice. God bless you. Okay. Let's see. Where should we go from here? Let's see. You're starting your own food forest? Yes. What's wrong with that? So, okay. Where are we at? Yeah, heirloom seeds. Yeah, we keep seeds here. So, all right, what do we got next here? Let's see. And yes, hopefully there's been some entertainment. So if you do, please hit the like button. Thank you very much for reminding me and people. Let's see. All right, let's go with I covered that guy. Oh, and they promised us flying cars, which we haven't seen yet. But we did get drones. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing all these stories that just keep popping up. This is a farm in Indonesia where, in order to get from the field to their vehicles, there's like a mile away. They're using drones. Oh, that's copyright music. Look at that. So there you go. I didn't know they were doing this. But they've been using drones, I guess, to move people for a certain amount of time at this point. Because not only are they doing it in this farm in Indonesia, look at that. It's pretty incredible. So, but not only are they still doing, are they doing it on this farm in Indonesia? Look, there he goes. But they used it for, was that in this one here? Yeah. So remember we talked about the the flooding in China, and I won't show the snakes again. They're using it to rescue people from the flood. Did you all know this was going on? I didn't know that. That's pretty cool that they can do this. I had no idea. I mean, I only see the drones that are there to surveil us and maybe shoot us, but here's some drones that are actually helping. So, allegedly. All right. So get rid of that. And, we're not doing that yet. We got to cover this. See, we'll do that. Let's go into here. Let's see. All right. What's next? Got that. We got that. And I think I have. Oh, I do have this one video. Because when I talked about the popular soccer guy, or we showed Barry Manilow's ghost walking around, and we showed who's the other one? Anyways, the stars, the idols. They were not supposed to have any idols because they're all the same. In order to get to a certain level of fame, you have to sell your soul. I know it's like, oh, he's sounding nuts. No, they have, like, of course, the Bob Dylan interview is famous, but they have so many people from Roseanne to all kinds of people that have talked about how they sold their soul for money, fame, fortune, whatever. And so every once in a while you come across someone that you say, oh, I don't think that they're into that, right? Because they seem nice, and it's a persona they're playing. That's their character. And so you don't know those people as they come across the screen, or the movies, or the songs that they sing that warm your heart. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they actually believe in. You don't know how far down this soul selling they've done. And I came across this one, or this one found me, about the there was the wedding of Taylor Swift and the football guy. And then this video came out about Dolly Parton, and I stuck it with this other gal. What is it? Billie Eilish. Ellis. And put them together, and you got this little quick video. Let's see.
Ooh, I love babies. Oh yeah, they love on these. It's crazy. I mean, I do too, though, because I have an iron deficiency, so it just tastes good. Like, do you guys like the taste of blood? Do you? Does anyone here like the taste of blood? Because I like it.
Taylor and Travis, it's Dolly, and I was just told that you two are making a donation of $2 million to my imagination library. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, when you have your firstborn, can I have it? Because that is going to be one special baby. Hey, when you have your firstborn, can I have it? When you have your firstborn, can I have it? When you have your firstborn, can I have it? When you have your firstborn, can I have it?
Yeah. Say it without saying it, right? They have to make those signs. They have to let you know who they're working for. It's just the way it is. Because look, I don't care who you are. That doesn't come natural to make the sign of the devil horn, especially when you're talking about babies, which was, the sacrifice to Moloch, Baal. It's the same thing. Yeah. We're 16 alpha doomed. So yeah, it's isn't that something? You just don't expect, because oh, she comes across as this like really sweet lady all these years singing these songs, and yet they're all part of the group, all of them. So okay, got rid of that one. Who says that? Can I have your baby? Jeez. Are you singing my Elon song? Okay, let's see. What do we have? Let's go back up here. I'm fascinated with a couple of things. One is superhero movies and the woke agenda, how it's destroying them. There's a dude that we watched named Levi Nix, and he put together this meme. He's assembling a team. These are the most beautiful women in movies. And then, of course, you got the Odyssey now coming out with just the Helena Troy character. Look, it doesn't matter. What do we say now? The woman of color. That doesn't, like, you can argue that back and forth, but she's not attractive. And that's the woman that's supposed to have sailed a bunch of ships, and wars were fought over Helena Troy. I don't know. And then you got, don't even get me started on it, but it's interesting because if you look at the crash and burn, I mean, this still is like the biggest losing thing of all time. But if you look at the crash and burn that just happened to Supergirl, I was reading it today, and of course you got women in there, and what are they doing? They're dissing on men. They're just saying horrible things about men. And who's going to see a superhero movie? Yeah, maybe there's a few women, but the majority of your clients supposed to be men. So if you just start trashing them, and then you add James Gunn, where he just keeps remaking Guardian of the Galaxies and think that people will eat it and eat it up, and it's not working. They're scheduled at this point, last I heard, is that this Supergirl movie is losing close to $300 million. So what's that saying? Woke and go broke. I mean, Hollywood's never been in such a shambles as it is right now. And I know there's a lot of people saying good. I get it, but it's fascinating to me that they're going to lose $300 million on a superhero movie. That should be like the easiest thing to do. But no, they're yeah. I was looking for something, but I can't find anything. So we got this guy. And I have to definitely thank some people here. Let's see, we had Chad. Here we go. Lek Productions. Hit the like button to subscribe to the host man. Hey, hon. Holy cow. Well, two things. There's $50. My goodness. But then what he wrote is even more amazing. Hit the like button to subscribe to the most handsome man streaming on Friday nights. God bless you. On multiple levels. There we go. Right? Where's my guy? Here we go. Hit the like button and subscribe to the most handsome man streaming on Friday nights.
Now, who can argue with that? Robert!
Why, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Where are we at here? Let's see. God bless you. That's wonderful. Yeah, I think they said it costs like, but that's the thing, that costs keep going up because it was just not just the movie they made, but then it was the what do you call it? The advertising and all this stuff. And it's a nightmare. And I find it fascinating. So, and hi, Birdhouse Blues. I see you over there on Rumble. Thank you, the people that are over on Rumble watching me. Let's see. So yeah, let's see. Where were we? Let's keep. I need to clip that. Maybe. You want me to blow the shofar? I don't know. It upsets a lot of people and dogs. I could. You know what? How about this? Instead of I'm too sexy. Jeannie, they're loving me. I'm too sexy for my shirt. What are you groaning down there? What do you mean? It's going crazy in the chat. Ben just showed up, so that means you and whoever else has just showed up is tardy.
I don't feel tardy. I don't feel tardy.
Thank you so much. Oh, Shofar, show good. Oh, hey, JT. I was talking about you earlier. If I can ever get you off of your dance card being full, I'd love to have you on again. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, I played you earlier with the whole panda thing. I got a new panda one. I don't know if you've seen the girl that asked what things are. What is that? But yeah. And Jeannie, he's giving you some love. JT's insane about it, your soap. So you there? Oh, she must have left the room. Dang. I'll tell her. And someone, nice to see you. God bless you. And it's okay if you feel tardy. It's all right. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's see. Clickety click. What was I going to show you all? Before I got lost in that. It's easy to do here. JT loves your soap, Jeannie. So, okay. Oh, I know. They were asking for Valhalla. That's what we're doing. Where is that one? There we go. And I got the new Valhalla, the one with the what is that girl?
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk. Rest now, brother.
Where is she? Dang. That's the wrong one. Here she is.
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk.
What is that?
Rest now, brother. We have the watch. And I'll see you in Valhalla.
What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
So there you go. There's your shofar. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to. And this is the thing I've been covering a lot about this flock cameras. Uh-oh. There we go. Because not only are they showing up everywhere, but they're getting people tried for crimes they didn't commit. Right? I mean, we're getting what is that? What was that Tom Cruise movie? Minority Report? For crimes they didn't commit?
You're going to get charged with a crime that you did not commit.
Cameras everywhere in that town. You can't get a breath of fresh air in or out without us knowing.
Chrisana Elzer learned the power of flock firsthand.
You were in town from 11:52 until 12:09. Exactly. Like I said, nothing in or out of the town without us knowing.
When a Colorado...
I'll do the Big Mike one. Okay, but let's finish this.
Take note of what he said there. Nothing gets in or out of the town without them knowing. Your every movement is being tracked.
Police officers showed up at her door holding flock snapshots of her truck.
And here's when you left at 12:09. That's...
Wait a minute, Jeannie. JT said he could come on now. Really? All right. Let's see. Well, I know I gotta let me do this here. Let's see. Share show, invite guest, clickety click, and then we'll go to mail. It's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to scream in your mail. And then we'll go over here. Well, you guys shouldn't just watch me figure out how to get mail to him. I'm working it over, send it to you, JT. In the meantime, they can look at this.
Michelle Obama is a man.
What is that? What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
All right, solve both those problems. So if you're around, JT, I just sent that to you. I'd love to have you on. Okay. In the meantime, let's keep pushing forward here. Let's see. Okay. And I don't know if you saw the show last week, everyone, but it was right before the 4th of July, and I lit off a sparkler here, and then, of course, this fire alarm went off, and we didn't burn the house down. So, okay. Let's see. Let me get back over here. Where were we? Where are we at? Oh, we were going over flock cameras. That's what we're discussing. Okay. Let's go back into this. And I'll keep an eye out for JT if he shows up there. So go clickety click. And we'll go here and here. And here. Okay. This flock camera thing. And I'll keep looking for you if you come up. I don't see you there yet.
It's when you left town.
To get.
No, to stop at Ridge Trail
Wait a minute.
and take a package. Well, there's no shushing. I don't
Yes,
need to
there
be.
is. I need to know where this is.
The first thing he pulled out
The cop gets an attitude with her.
on the body cam is that flock picture, the clear photograph of your car.
But here's your vehicle in the neighborhood many, many times, apparently casing houses, because you just can't drive through for work or visit other businesses. You can only be casing houses.
That's all it's going to take. You're going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And
So basically, the flock camera registered her phone going around through town. They originally came out with these and said it was only about license plates. But obviously, this is part of the grid system that they want to like encase us in at this point. And this is the beginning of it. He's still not there. Okay. All right. Say something in the chat if you show up there. But yeah, so that was that. And then it continues on from there. But then there's this one.
Showdown between a Minnesota man and Plymouth police officers. They thought he had stolen a $150,000 car based on bad information in the flock system.
Fox 9's Corin Hoggard shows us the consequences and what an innocent man's story says about the broader increase in surveillance.
Rolling around in a Range Rover is all in a day's work for automotive journalist Joel Fetter. But TheDrive.com did not.
So basically, I'll just break it down. He does this. He does like reviews cars and so forth. And so he was driving this car, and the flock camera decided it was stolen. And within I don't know how many minutes, he was surrounded by cops with their guns.
Officers. Are you armed at all? No. He says the officers had their hands on their holsters, but they never drew weapons, so the interaction stayed tense but manageable. And eventually an officer revealed the reason for their suspicion.
The reason you have 4 cops here is because your license plate is registered as stolen license plates.
Fetter had enough documentation to convince them it was not.
So his license plate, supposedly they said it was stolen, and the flock's cameras notified the police and gave him his coordinates where he is, because they work off your phone too. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. We're getting to that stage. Oh, there he is. Look at this. Let's see. What do we have here? Gotta hit his intro.
I think pandas are sus.
Is my parents' dog moonlighting as Panda?
Hey, JT.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. How exciting. It's been a while.
Too long.
Yeah. Well, you're everywhere now. It's it must be exhausting. You do a lot of shows all over the place. So
It is at times. Yeah. But I enjoy it. Like I said, so I'm not going to complain. But yeah, I've done the podcast circuit. I've been on the road a little bit doing them. And, people think it's all fun and games, but it is actually some work sometimes.
It
sometimes,
is.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jeannie about it for the last at least 3 weeks. It's been very difficult for me to like come up with. I like to do at least 2 hours to come up with enough content to fill that, and not sound like I'm just retreading the same ground. And so I can't imagine how you do like multiple shows in a week. I know that you went full time on this. And kudos to you. I think that's great. I couldn't sustain that. So I used to do like.
I think you could. Honestly, I think you could, because I give you respect for doing the shows by yourself. Because I know when I go live by myself, I mean, it is exhausting to do it by yourself. That's why I typically try to have guests or co-hosts, because yeah, it's a lot to carry a show by yourself. So kudos.
Well, thank you. What do I have for you on that? I can't.
True. Yep. Yeah, that's true.
That one. I'll do that. But yeah, thank you. Well, shoot. So let's see. We were talking about flock cameras. I don't know if you've
Oh
been
yeah,
seeing-
we've talked a little bit about that on my podcast. So Virginia, now that we have like a total commie governor right now, we're going to be like the first state where they're going to put flock cameras on stop signs. So if you roll through a stop sign, they're going to give you a ticket.
Really? And that's
Yeah.
the thing. They said originally it was just going to be for cars, but now we're finding that it's like they're on trails, they're in places that there's no cars at all. And it's part of this whole you're a good trivia guy with movies and TV. There was a thing that came out several years ago. It was like some police state movie short or whatever that they were trying to scare everyone with. Do you remember that at all? And
Which one? I mean, there's been a lot of them.
There was one that was going around YouTube a lot, but it seems like that's where they want to take us. And we're watching them slowly install Skynet. And I watched one of your videos. There's already a place that has the word Skynet on it.
Oh yeah, we talked about that on a mixtape a couple weeks ago, and I made a reel about that. So in China, they were creating, like it's not a new thing. They're creating these robots or droids or whatever they are. And in China, they were calling it the T-800. And so Brian alerted to me something I did not know was that he's like, did you know that their overarching surveillance system is actually called Skynet in China? And I was like, what? No, there's no way that's true. Look it up real quick. Absolutely, it's true. So they already have Skynet in China, and now they're creating T-800s. And if you guys are not into movies, in the Terminator series, in the very first Terminator movie, and then of course continue on in the series, Arnold Schwarzenegger's character is, spoilers, he's a robot. He's the T-800. And so in the first movie, he's not a good guy. He's going to kill Sarah Connor to prevent the birth of John Connor, who is supposed to be the human's savior.
Yeah. Well, they say truth in movies and lies in TV. And so that's the thing. It's like they show us where they want to take us, and then they start filling in the blanks to make it connect. It's like there's no coincidence that all these things from Star Trek are now like they're trying to produce in real time. They're trying to like just confuse everyone to the point where the stuff you see in movies isn't real, and yet it turns out like all this stuff is real. We live in this.
I mean, it's like a manufacturing consent. So here's my overall theory about all that. Now at this point, I'm thinking like that. God is the only one who can see into the fourth dimension fully, because he knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of all the choices we all make, he's sovereign. So whatever he says will happen. So he knows. Now, the fallen angels, the demons, I think they can see the possibilities of the fourth dimension. They can see more of it than we can. So they're putting out a lot of stuff, a lot of prophecy. So you think about it, like all the movies you've seen that nothing has came true, they're also putting that out too. So when you see something that does come true, you're like, oh, well, they're prophets. But the truth is there's tons of false prophecy in what they're predicting. But I think they want you to believe that they are all knowing.
Right.
And they are in control. But again, they're throwing as much poo against the wall as they can. Some of it's sticking.
Right. And then people just focus on the things that like, oh, look, this came true. I saw it on The Simpsons, and that whole thing is such a silly narrative. I've talked about that many times. Like The Simpsons are predicting things. They write you what they want to do, and then they do it later. It's like if I said, I'm going to come to your house and smash your window, and then a week later I go to your house and smash your window. Did I prophesize it and see the future? No, I just told you what I was going to do. And so it's the same idea. They put it out there, and then people go back and go, wow, it's prophetic. No, they're working this script, and they're using the Bible as the script that they want to install in us. And isn't there a part I forget which passage it is, where it says that they try to do this evil thing, and then God shuts them down at some point. And so, like you said, they're throwing all the stuff they can at us. And at some point, God's going to shut it down. Because it's not like the movies and TV and Supernatural. He didn't check out. He's right here. He sees everything that's going on. The things that he allows to happen, if they're negative, it's unfortunate for us. But at the same time, it advances us in some way, spiritually, emotionally, in some way advances us for our own good, even if we can't see it, you know?
Yeah,
'Cause he
correct. I
thinks
always
differently
can
than we do.
consider like where we're at, if we are in the little season, is that it's the book of Job on steroids.
I like
So
it.
if God gave the devil the ability to do certain things, well, he could certainly tell you what he's going to do. Right? So like he can't tell you everything, but he can say that if God allowed me to do this, I can certainly choreograph the move that I'm going to do. So, you know, so some of it obviously it's like, well, God's gave me access, he gave me consent to do it. And I think that a lot of what we see in the movies when it comes to like predictive programming is a manufacturing of consent. So we're kind of like, I don't know if, I mean, of course, you see like a Terminator movie. Have we consented to that? I guess in some ways, I guess we have, because you have like the Elon Musks of the world saying that we're summoning the demon. You have like the Peter Thiels, all the people that are the big technocrats. They've not really been that shy about telling us how bad this could be. And yet people are kind of just still sitting on their hands and just allowing it to happen.
Well, it's interesting you brought that Elon up again because where's this thing I have here? Clickety click here. So Elon Musk wrote this. Among other things, Neuralink will enable quadriplegics to use their hands and to walk again, and the completely blind to be able to see. Jesus level miracles.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy writes, what's Doge backwards? E-God. Right?
What is Doge spelled backwards? Interesting choice of words.
Oh, I guess he said the same thing I just did. But yeah, isn't that something? E-God. Like the electronic God. And we've had a discussion multiple times, like it's so obvious. And as a spoiler, if people are upset, if they like Trump, if they hate Trump, it doesn't matter. For me, we know that they all work together to fulfill whatever it is that the higher ups above all these puppets want done. The only thing I can say about Trump is he's funny and he's entertaining. And there are some things he's done that I like, but I know that he's not here to help us. And so it's really easy to say, is he the Antichrist? I don't know. The Antichrist is loved, and he is loved by a lot of people. He's hated by a lot of other people. But the thing that I find interesting about this guy is, of course, Jesus is like the most famous person, and for good reason. But the Antichrist then would also fit that description. And I think the entire world not only knows who Trump is, but there probably isn't a single day that goes by that if not some, most, everyone says his name in some way, shape, or form, whether they hate him or love him, whatever. It's constant. Like I showed an article today. He got his name. He put his name on everything, like Nebuchadnezzar. He's got his name on a bridge in Tennessee now. That happened today. He got his name on an airport in Florida. That happened today. He's stamping himself. He's on your passports now. He's on your money. He's doing whatever he can to just be like the most famous person in our current history. And
yeah, I say his name almost every time I go to the gas pump now. And when I look at my stocks, I'm like, Trump.
But see, that's the thing. The world was spoken by God's word into existence, right? So there's something in the power of the word, and there's power in names. And that's why we don't even actually know Jesus's real name. We don't even know our own name that he has for us until the very end. But the fact that everyone is saying this guy's name, I think it's enhancing his power. I don't know. What do you think about that? Because everyone mentions him, it seems like.
I mean, yeah, Trump is, I mean, he's unique amongst a unique bunch of presidents. But I mean, the truth be told, I mean, everybody thinks that every president's the Antichrist. I mean, like,
that's true. I heard about Obama forever.
Yeah. I mean, lots of them are considered the Antichrist. It's funny that nobody really ever considers Bibi Netanyahu could be the Antichrist.
Right. Well, I've talked about that. I have.
Well, I mean, he's like, obviously he denies Jesus. I mean, that's number one. And obviously you heard what he said the one time he was quoting this book talking about like, there's basically no difference in history between Genghis Khan and Jesus Christ. And you're like, If that's the most antichrist thing I've ever heard a public, politician ever say publicly, but that's never spoken about by evangelical Zionist premillennial people. Like, I think that's kind of, it's a little suspect, honestly, is the fact that they don't ever point to him as saying, he's got a lot of Antichrist vibes, is that he wants to create this greater Israel thing that's devoid of Jesus. I mean, to me, I think that seems. I'm one of those people where, like, if you just go by the literal word, what John spoke, because John is the only person who ever mentions the word Antichrist in the Bible, and he defines it by saying that anybody who denies that Jesus Christ, God's Son, came in the flesh is the spirit of Antichrist. So there's a spirit of Antichrist that's in the world. But yeah, like, I think that Trump he's a buffoon. He's not the Antichrist. He's a blustery, arrogant man. And
it's being used by the spirit of Antichrist. Yeah.
He seems like he's compromised by the spirit of Antichrist, because I think that Trump's first term, at least from like an American perspective, it was better until, like, I guess 2020. I mean, and then it went straight off the rails,
right,
with Operation Warp Speed and all the like. But yeah, this term, it seems like they must have a lot of dirt on this guy, just a lot. But, I mean,
that's very true.
He's being puppeteered at
right.
this point. So, like, if you're looking at him being the guy, you can tell he's beholden to other people. So is the Antichrist really being pulled by other men in Davos and in Israel? I don't think so.
That makes sense. I hear your point. And then the other one is, the people that are in charge are the ones you can't talk about. And so you don't hear much about the other, like you said, Netanyahu and so forth. So it's interesting.
Well, it's kind of like I remember I had a season in my life where I was really watching all these mob shows on the History Channel.
Mm-hmm.
And so what everybody thinks about is what the Teflon Don, right? What was his name? Who was like the real prominent mob boss?
Al Capone?
No, not Al Capone, but it was it was a more recent one, like in the 80s and 90s. Gosh, I forget his name. But the guy, it was like a guy who was like going into court all the time because and they called him Teflon because he kept on getting off. But like, you really think about it, it's like the Gambino crime family was like the Don of the Gambinos. It was like nobody ever saw him in public. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the people that you don't see are the people that have
Gotti.
Real power. Yeah, John Gotti, absolutely. Yeah, John Gotti. So like, Trump is more like John Gotti, where he's got all the flash, he's got all the gold, and he's got all the trappings of like a Don. But like the real Don, the smart Don, is not putting his face on the New York Times. He's
right.
He's letting other people get in trouble for him, and there's nothing ever tying him back to that. So that's why, like, when they say like Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, there's no way, there's no chance that he's the richest man in the world. The richest man in the world doesn't ever make those lists on Forbes.
Right.
Because he doesn't want people to know he's got that much money. Because there comes scrutiny, there becomes all kinds of other things go with it. So like the guy who's got the flash, no, that's not the guy who's running things. He's the face, he's the actor.
That makes sense, yeah. Because that's the thing. Even in, like, say, just regular military, the people that are making the decisions, they're sending the pawns into their ridiculous wars and stuff. They're not doing it. They're not getting their hands dirty. So we don't know, when you go high up enough. I think COVID proved it to the world, if they were awake, that all the countries work together and there's somebody higher up than them. Because all the countries, even the ones that hate each other, they all went along with this, and it's the same thing we talk about in space. You go to the ISS, they're friends in space and enemies on Earth. And they just did it again. The World Cup, which I don't know if you're watching, we're actually enjoying it. I never got into soccer before. And the World Cup, we hosted Iran, the country we keep bombing and saying there are animals and terrible people that are trying to kill us. And yet we have them here for soccer. Yay, bread and circus. Nobody revolts. And then we go back to bombing them. Like, It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, the World Cup, I mean, I've not really watched it. I was never big into soccer, what the world calls football. I used to like American football back in the day, but
Yeah.
I think the more again you start to look into these kind of things. I mean, it is bred in circuses. It's a distraction. It's all rigged. It's all fake, like everything else. It reminds me of like when I was growing up in the '80s, and I loved Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Roddy Piper. Then one day I learned, hey, you know what? These guys are all friends. It's all fake. It's all scripted. That's exactly what all these sports are. And so, like, obviously, these outcomes are manipulated by people in Vegas. And you had the scandal or the semi scandal that basically disappeared with Eric Trump trying to was he DMing Cormier from like the former UFC champion who's now a commentator, asking if people are injured on the card, that he's trying to get inside baseball on who you should bet on. It's all fake, man. It's all fake. It's like that money is these people's gods. And so, of course, the sports are just as fake as everything else you see. It's a shame because, I mean, as somebody who's really loved athletics, I mean, it is fun to see people who really dedicate themselves to these sports. But unfortunately, yeah, you can be impressed that Macho Man was an awesome wrestler, and he was. Too bad the outcome was already foreseen before the match ever took place. Doesn't matter how athletic he was. It was like Vince McMahon says, you're going to get pinned at this point in the match or you're going to win. And that's the end.
Yeah. The very first video I had struck and taken down was because I showed a video clip of Trump as a wrestler. And he gets into a wrestling fight with Vince McMahon and throws him to the ground and stuff and pounds on him, whatever. I mean, he's been an actor his entire life, and they all have IMDb pages, all these people.
Yeah.
So it is. But what I said is with the sports, yes, they're rigged. And I know that the football players have magnetic gloves, and I get all that. They are talented on some level of what they do.
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean,
That's
it's the
why
same
they put
thing.
them in
You couldn't pull up. That's what I'm saying. But that's the exact same things you see with pro wrestling. You can't do what they do and not get injured all the time or injure the person they're wrestling if they weren't talented. So it has nothing to do with it. I mean, it means they're more talented that they can make it look somewhat real.
Right.
So, I mean, these people who do what they do, this is why they get paid millions of dollars a year to do it. It's not because they're bad at their jobs. It's because they're great at it. Unfortunately for us on the couch, they were getting so emotionally invested in these kind of things. And that's the thing that, I don't know, that was the thing that probably maybe changed me a little bit. Maybe I got more cynical, maybe in my 30s, where I was a big Redskins fan, being in Virginia. And of course,
Can't
I grew
say
up.
that anymore. They're not called that, are they?
Well, I'm still going to call them that regardless. Just like I still call the Washington Wizards the Bullets. I'm still going to call them what they used to be called. But the point is that I used to get so bummed out. Like, I had a great week. Nothing was really going wrong in my life. And then I'd watch my favorite team every Sunday, and they would wreck my mood. And you really think about it, that's what happens with a lot of the country, is that they're so emotionally invested in things that don't matter at all. Like, like it's one thing to play a sport in being disappointed when you lose. It's another thing to watch your team and you say we when you talk about them.
Right.
You're
like
not
you're
on
part
the
of
team.
it.
These guys are bro hugging and high fiving after the game's over. They don't care. And then the people who are in the sports bar are ready to fight over the outcome. There's something wrong with that, but obviously that's intentional.
Well, there's something about that whole thing they call luge. And I think that, there's not just say regular vampires, but there's energy ones that feed off of this and our emotions. There's a reason that movies and TVs and stuff that can tap into our emotions. And so when you get thousands and thousands of people together in a stadium, and then you put them through that roller coaster of emotion, they're doing something with that energy, because energy goes somewhere. It doesn't just stop. It's constant emotion. And I think this whole thing about, like you say, making everyone upset or happy or whatever, it's part of that.
Well, it's not necessarily that. I mean, I do believe in the idea that demons feed off our fear and our anger. You know, so if you think about like Monsters Inc., like that's what the movie's basically about.
Right.
Even laughter at the end. It's like that energy goes toward powering their demonic city. But even still, like I said, you have a person with a business and a family or a job, and they're emotionally investing all this energy into something that doesn't matter. So we all have a finite amount of energy. So the truth is it doesn't matter if it's necessarily going to a demonic place, but it's going away from a profitable exercise of this energy.
Correct.
So you could do all kinds of things with that energy. But I mean, literally, I'd watch a football game. Like we used to have season tickets, and we're about 3 hours away as the crow flies from Washington, D.C., obviously traffic depending. So we had tickets, and we'd go up there, and I'd watch them play. And of course, generally they would lose when I went. And you're just like, whether they won or they lost, it was just like, it's emotionally and physically exhausting. You felt like you played because you were so into it. So if you go away like almost an empty vessel, like leaving the stadium, going into traffic, Monday is a slog because you're just so exhausted from Sunday. I mean, how is, that you think about it like that, is that whatever they're doing on Mondays, like after like a football Sunday, it'd be the thing I don't have time. I don't have energy for this. I got to take care of the kids. I got to go to work. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it keeps us drained. And that's the thing. We are such an amazing being that God created that they have to throw everything at us. Like you say, throw all the poo on the wall. They've got to allegedly, poison the food, poison the water, poison the air, hit us with frequencies, hit us, all this stuff is coming at us. So that's why you have the whole full armor of God, is it's at us all the time, sapping our energy, keeping us complacent. And if you work someone cradle to grave and they're busy all the time, they don't have time to stop and realize they can get off the merry-go-round ride and not live in this constant state of fear, because that's all that comes across these screens. It's different things to fear. That's why I have the scary space news and all, because there's constantly things coming at us. Oh, we got to worry about this. I mean, even me talking about the flock cameras, that's fear into that. But I just want to describe what's happening. Whether or not they're going to install this grid system of constant surveillance, like, as every movie and book you've ever written or read, whether or not they'll go through with it, they're showing you this is where they want to advance us. And then these news articles come on, and I understand I'm part of that because I'm presenting it. So I'm helping push this. But at some level, I want to let people know what's happening, because if all they're doing is watching football or soccer, they have no clue what's actually happening. No,
honestly, I don't think that's bad. I mean, again, like that, it's about your why, like why you're doing it. I mean, if you're calling attention to this, I mean, the truth is, imagine if every football fan, soccer fan, or every actual American football fan or baseball or basketball fan put the same amount of rooting and energy into going to these city council meetings to invest their energy to fight against flock cameras or these data centers that are going in, they wouldn't go in. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think that's valid. I mean, because this is something that we do have a say in. And then a lot of people don't think we do at this point, because they just say, well, I'll let somebody else fight that. But obviously you see a lot of videos on social media where real people, regular citizens are going in there and saying, this is not constitutional. This is not a good use of our energy. This is not a good use of our water. And they're fighting against it. But it's like all these, I mean, there's not a lot of people doing it. I mean, there's a lot, but not compared to the people that are going to watch the World Cup.
Correct.
Which America sucks at soccer. So, I mean, we're not going to win anyway. So why are we investing this much time into this? We should invest in the fact that my state, Virginia, is the data center capital of the world. And I didn't even know that. And I'm a person who talks about stuff like this all the time. I didn't realize that until recently. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's am I doing the most of what I could do? And the truth is, there's so many things happening that we're distracted. And obviously sports is the best example of that. It's because it doesn't matter at all. It's all fake and it's gay.
And the fact that people they memorize, stats and stuff of like this player and that player and what year the Yankees did this, and you fill your brain up with all this stuff that's insequential. There's no knowledge, there's nothing there. Like you said, I understand what you're saying, that, and it's the same thing with us on these channels. You have a bigger audience than I do, but having said that, in the great scheme of the world, there's a very small percentage of people that are actually watching and listening to these kind of things compared to, like you said, watching the World Cup or wrestling or whatever. They're focused on, they've got them working all day. I mean, you work 5 days a week on most jobs, but then you get 2 days off. Well, Friday you had to work, so you really can't count that. Saturday it's your first day, and Sunday you're already getting ready because you got to go to work the next day on Monday. So a very small window of time that we can have for ourselves. And now that they pushed the retirement age, they're saying to 68. I mean, how nuts is that? So we're supposed to work from, say, 18, for us, some of us is like 15, work until we're almost 70, and then we can stop working and retire? Like that, where's my guy? That makes no sense.
No.
Where is it?
That makes no sense.
Well, I mean, again, it makes sense if that's what they want you to do. I mean, again, that's the idea of like they were like living in the Matrix. So we don't have time to know anything else. It's like that we have a finite amount of time. So of course we need to spend most of the time making the money to sustain the life that we live, that most people hate. And then the other part of the time is like we want to not think about anything. We want to just enjoy the life that we have. And then, yeah, by the time you're like getting to the end of the weekend, it's like it's time to do it again. So it's like that we are these tiny batteries in this evil system, and that's how they control people.
Now, I don't know if we've talked about it before, how your awakening happened, but for my wife and I, we both happen to have time off from our work at the same time for the first time in our lives, basically, since we were teenagers, that we didn't have to work. And that's when we started watching different, alternate videos of, rather than mainstream news. Because it used to be, I did the same thing as everyone. I'd come home, I'd turn on the quote news, I'd hear the headlines, and I'd turn it off and thought I knew what was going on in the world. And then when we had time to like look and examine this and realize the news is lying to us, and all these events are false flags, and then you move on, and from there, Mandela for me, and things like that, you start seeing that I had the time to look into this where I didn't before, and that's what helped wake me up. And I don't know how you ended up waking up to all this lies too. Did you have time, a break or something? Because that's what I'm finding.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say I did. I mean, I had a situation in my life where a lot of let's just say, like, I had a family crisis where like I had a lot more free time afterwards. And so I did have a time where I was very busy. I was busy with like my own kind of athletics, where I was doing like kind of masters sports, where I was riding bikes and I was running, and I was spending a lot of time doing that. And then I got injured, and then I had a lot more free time. And again, it was like 2020 happened. Of course, everybody had more free time then, because even that's the point in my life where I was training for bike races, and I was like in the best like cycling shape I'd ever been in. I was ready to like kick some butt. I was ready to dominate. I thought I was really going to have a great year. There was nothing to do. All the races got canceled. So then everybody's really frustrated with everything that's happening. And so like that's when I was on like formerly Twitter. I was on Twitter, like reading all the news about things because I was so disillusioned by all the things that were happening. And it was a time where I was like, okay, so they're lying about this. And then you get 2020 election happening. They're lying about that. And at that point, my brother, for many years before that, was trying to tell me about some of the conspiracy stuff, and I just was not willing to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at that point, I was finally like, okay, he's not wrong. How lying about stuff. Not that I didn't know, but I didn't want to know. And then I was willing to accept that he was telling the truth. And I was saying, well, how deep does this rabbit hole go? I mean, I don't know if I found the bottom yet. I mean, so since then, I was willing to kind of look into that, and I was willing to like read things, obviously, of course, first and foremost, the Bible, but I was willing to like read things and research things that were uncomfortable truths. And after that, it was just like, yeah, there's no end to that. So yeah, absolutely. It was, the truth is, even though we don't feel like we have a lot of time, we actually have a lot of time. You really think about all the dead time we have. Instead, I was reading, I was watching podcasts, I was listening to podcasts, I was doing all kinds of other things that were a better use of my time than before.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, is that they keep us busy either through work or with this stuff like we were talking about, entertainment, just to keep us from actually focusing on the real things that could help us and change the world that we're in. So, yeah, so that was the thing. I found out my awakening started where I thought Trump was there to help us. And then I got into the whole Q thing. And then I realized that nothing changes. And so I came out the other side. And yeah, it's pretty wild. And that the fact that now everyone looks at us and thinks that we sound crazy because we used to think and sound just like them. And now we see it from the other side. So, and he's ordering dinner, I think. So, yeah. I can get a little, let me finish up some of these because I know it's later over there for you. So let me get where is it? Space. Let's talk about space while you're here. I always enjoy that with you.
Yeah, for sure.
This week in scary space news.
I like my drops. Okay. I thought this was interesting because we were just discussing about the fakeness, supposedly. Here's a NASA physicist, Thomas Campbell. He's suggesting the universe does not exist when you're not looking. You know, does a tree fall in the forest?
Mm-hmm.
It functions like a video game, rendering physical matter only when an observer requests the data. That's interesting.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't buy into that. I just think it's because there's a lot of people who think we live in a simulation.
So if you close your eyes, nothing exists. You don't see.
It all goes away. Well, like that neighborhood doesn't exist until I actually drive to it, and then all of a sudden everyone starts moving like NPCs in a video game, I guess, that kind of thing. But
that's strange.
Yeah, it sounds very strange. And then here's let's see, this is about Operation Fishbone. Let's see, where is it? I wanted to show you this. This one just came out, I think, today. This is the Pentagon released UFO documents, and this was a large two-tier object captured by an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform in 2020. So there you go. As my guy says, who could argue with that?
It's like a space hog.
The thing is like this alien invasion sucks.
I played a video the other day on a mixtape that it was, I thought the aliens would be here by now. When are those aliens going to show up? I thought they'd be here by now.
All we get is this and orbs and stuff. Like boring.
Yeah, I've been, I'd actually like to ask you a question about that because it felt like to me, all the years were leading up to this year. And then when you have like Disclosure Day coming out, and then obviously they're pushing the UFO stuff hard. You got the people kind of, even they may be adjacent to us, like Tim Alberinos and the Blurry Creatures people. And they're all really pushing this alien stuff like really hard. I thought, okay, so I don't really believe in aliens, but I think that this PSYOP is leading up to something.
Right.
You're waiting for something to happen. But the more I've started to see, I'm like, no, nothing's going to happen. It's like they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. It's like, so do you think that, well, like, what do you think this is leading to? Because it does seem like at this point, we're like Charlie Brown trying to kick a football, and then they're going to yoink. No,
exactly. Exactly. I've said this, and this goes all the way back to the PSYOP of 2020. I was in a disagreement with a real famous flat earther that ran a channel, and he was telling people they're going to come down your driveway and force a mask and a shot into you. And I said, he's out of his mind. I said, they're not going to do that because the people that whoever's in charge of this nonsense, they're cheap and they don't like to do much. They like to suggest things to us and then we do it to ourselves. I mean, that whole thing about all those executive orders and how you're supposed to eat and walk in a grocery store and only have two people at your gathering and hug your grandma through a curtain, all that nonsense that went down. They didn't force any of that on you. They made you believe that you had to do it, and people just lockstep went in line, closed businesses. They just, if people had just at that time stood up against it, it would have gone away. But it's shocking to me at how far everyone went. When I play clips on it now, it looks so ridiculous that you could only walk a certain way through a grocery store and all this nonsense that they had us do. And it used to be if you walked in a bank, you couldn't have a hat or a mask. And then it was you could only walk into a bank with a hat or a mask. And now they've changed it back. It's like the fact that people just jumped in with both feet. You could eat at a restaurant, but only if you wore the mask until you sat down. Then you could take it off when you're eating. And then they made it so you couldn't even eat in the restaurant. But yet the food was still okay from the kitchen of the restaurant. You just had to take it home. And then the bathrooms were too dangerous. So they put outhouse porta potties outside because that was
Right.
like none of it made sense. And so when I saw that the people just go for all these things, they whatever's coming, it's not going to be anything that's going to be like really expensive to produce. Any alien invasion is going to come across all these screens because that's how everyone gets their news now.
Right.
Whether it's a tablet or a phone or computer. And you can change. I mean, AI does things crazy now to the point that you'll never be able to tell what's real and what's not. They don't have to actually do like giant ships in the sky. They'll just show you videos that people saw them.
Yeah, it's a situation like that. If they were as powerful and as creative and deceptive as everyone gives them credit for, even people in our space, well, then why does the Artemis stuff seem so fake? Right? Couldn't they fake that better if they were going to fake an alien invasion?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It would be way easier to fake going to the moon than it would be to fake, I don't know, little gray or little green men coming down and flying saucers. So they don't, I think we're giving them too much credit to be able to do something like that. It was funny because I did go see that movie Disclosure Day.
Yeah, I saw your thing on it.
And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is it? This is what they showed in Disclosure Day was no different than what I've seen almost like the past 3 years of them. You know, another Fed comes out and says, oh, they're totally real. We've seen them. The Navy's seen them. We don't know what they do. They defy the laws of physics. There's secret programs and everything else. So that's all they did was dump out more of that stuff in this movie. And I was like, there's nothing new. Like, you're going to show us anything new? Like, are they going to add a layer to this? And they didn't. So then that's when I was really like, yeah, nothing's coming. Like, nothing's coming. I mean, it's not like that they're not going to continue to try to do exactly what they're doing, but I don't think that they have a plan, really. It's a situation where I wondered if maybe this is a idea where they have to continue to propagate it so people think about it.
Right.
So when they do see things that they don't understand or can explain, their thoughts go to aliens. You know, because there is spiritual phenomena that happens all around us, and maybe some of it is visible at times. I mean, again, like, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm always willing to acknowledge that there's things I don't know about. But at the same time, like, maybe it is a situation where, like, maybe there's an act of God that shows up in the heavens, New Jerusalem. And, you know, as crazy as that sounds, maybe if that shows up, they can explain it away by these are aliens from other planets. But other than that, like, there's a reason why they keep doing it. But I think it more has to do with making you think everything has to be a scientific phenomenon versus a spiritual phenomenon.
Right. And also there's something to be said about how they, like you said, they want to keep it in our mindset that this is out there because they can use it to mask things, like you said, that would maybe really be spiritual events. and go with their narrative. But they've been pushing the same kind of ideas, like you said, forever. That this thing's to me, it's like the same people that are waiting for whether or not we're in this little season. There are people that are waiting for revelation. They want to see this destruction and this, all this horribleness that's coming. And yet I'm like, why are you looking forward to that? If you think that revelation hasn't happened, you should be looking forward to after revelation, the 1,000-year reign of Christ. And if you're living in a low season, like we feel we are, you shouldn't be looking for the what do you call it? The sequel that Satan's going to produce to make it look like you're going through. You should be waiting for the same thing, for the return of Jesus to end all this. I mean, we got to have the eyes on that prize. And instead, they're going to don't forget there's aliens coming, and don't forget there's this rapture coming, and don't forget. They just want to keep us constantly waiting for something, like you said, the Charlie Brown ball that never shows up. I mean, how many people have prophesized that, Jesus is coming back, or, oh, look, the Euphrates Rivers is drying up. So they're constantly going over the same things, just like alien invasion people are going over, waiting for that moment that who knows if and when we'll even see it in our lifetime.
Well, I think what it is, the more I kind of read the Bible and I think about it and I try to process it, is the idea that there's prophetic language in the Bible. And the prophetic language does not necessarily correlate exactly what the physical result on earth was. So if in the times of the prophets, and they're prophesying the destruction of Israel or the destruction of Judea in the times of Nebuchadnezzar, there's very specific prophetic language that makes it sound like that God is physically coming down to do something. But in all reality, like what the people actually saw was just an army came in and destroyed a place.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking for the spiritual things to happen, meanwhile ignoring the physical things like the pawns and the pieces on the chessboard being moved around. So like in the same way that I've often wondered about like even the idea of like that in the little season, if we're before Gog and Magog, you have the devil assembles an army and he surrounds the camp of the saints and the holy city. So I've always kind of like tried to wrestle with the idea that you have two places mentioned that are being surrounded. The camp, they could be the same, but the way I almost kind of saw it would be like, what if there's a physical event that is a tribulation time for the camp of the saints, which is actually us.
Right.
Like we are the camp of the saints on the earth, and the beloved city is heavenly Jerusalem. So there's a spiritual thing happening at the same time, a physical thing's happening, but we can't see both. We're only seeing one. And so we're looking for like, again, like we're looking for like the signs and wonders, but like God is telling us, Jesus is explaining that it's the things that you can't see are the things that are more important. So there's a spiritual thing happening along with all the physical things happening, but we can only perceive one, but we know in our Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit telling us that there's more happening here that we can't see. I don't know if that's confusing, but I don't know. I just think that we're all looking for the spaceships to come down. We're looking for the angels to show up. We're looking for the demons to manifest physically, but they're not really going to ever do that. And so we live on this earth and we see in part, we prophesy in part. We're only seeing in a dim room. Like we can't see all the things that are happening, but there's a lot more happening than we can see. Does that make sense?
Now, who can argue with that? Robert!
No, it totally does. Because that's the thing that we always try, because it's our brain. We try to make it into the physical world. And that's where I believe, and we've had many talks now already about the Mandela effect. But for me, the Mandela effect is a way that God is showing us that things can change on a molecular level that we can't understand or process. And it's a way to keep me locked into the, quote, supernatural of this world that we actually exist in, because we don't comprehend that could possibly happen. Just like we don't comprehend that, demons are real and they can possess people. That's just something in the old Bibles that doesn't happen anymore, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Or that you can be healed by the power of Jesus. He did it forever back then, but no, not anymore. Because what? We're too advanced. We're still living the same timeline as that book. And so all the things that happened then are still able to happen now. But because of whatever you want to say, the way we were brought up and raised and beaten into our heads through, the indoctrination camps, school, they take that imagination away from us. And that's why people that don't understand what you and I are saying, they look at us like we're crazy and we're out there and we don't know what we're talking about. But yet we're just trying to process with the same brain this other existence that we can't really see, but can interact with us in ways that people don't even realize is happening to them. That whole, demon racer, he does whole shows on this. It's that idea that supernatural spiritual world exists with us, even if we can't see it or hear it.
Yeah, well, when I talk with Brian, I think a lot of people disagree with a lot of things he says in my audience.
He is a powder keg, man.
Yeah, but I think some of the things he says has resonated with me is about the idea that people are always looking for like physical reptilians, and they're looking for people with like split pupils and like serpent like entities manifesting physically, like venom or something. But he's like, I think it's more like a manifestation of the spiritual. Like, so you're seeing in the spirit of like what this person is actually looks like. But the physical body is not changed. It's like you have two people in a car. Well, actually, three people in a car. One person is manifesting a demon. The other person's like, did you just see their face just change? And the other person in the car is like, I didn't see anything. What are you talking about? So like there's things that are happening that we can't see. And those are important. And they're more important than the things we can. But we're all focused on the things that we can't see. And like we're waiting to see it. And it's like the same way that you think you go back all the way back to the Gospels when the people rejected Jesus is because they're expecting a very physical kingdom to come. Mm-hmm. They're expecting a king and a warrior king like in the line of David to come. And then he comes in a way that they don't expect, right? Like Jesus comes with all kinds of strength, but it's not in the way that men could perceive. Because real strength is not fighting back when you're going to the cross. Mm-hmm. It's not calling your apostles and all your followers to fight for you. It's like it's strength and what God actually did was that he didn't fight when he was about to die. Mm-hmm. So in the same way, I think that's kind of more what, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to ever say that I know, but I fully kind of expect that most of us will live out our days without ever seeing a great spiritual sign about the end times. Even if it's the Gog Magog stuff. It's like, and I think for some people, I think that's an uncomfortable thought.
Yeah, right? They want it. Yeah.
Well, because I think that we all want to see that we are like in the generation that sees all the things.
Yeah.
But obviously, you think about the people that we've known in our families that have come and gone, and they never saw those things. So like, why do you think you're any different? Because we're special, right? Because of course we're the most special ones. And I think for some ways, it's harder to accept that, right? Because we have no great war. We might not have any great like events that take place in our life. But every event that we take that is in our life is important to the story. And I think about like the whole story being, it's funny. We just talked about the Lord of the Rings on my podcast because we always do. Mm-hmm. But we were talking about the kind of the godly message in there where there's that scene in the Two Towers where Samwise Gamgee is telling Frodo, you think we could be in one of those great stories where people had a lot of chances to turn back, but they didn't because they were holding on to something. And he's like, what did they hold on to? I said, what are we holding on to? That there's still some good left in this world and it's worth fighting for.
Right.
But like when you see like Sauron, you see like the orcs, you see this vast horde of armies you're fighting against. Okay, you know what your enemy is. But like we face an enemy we can't see. And that's sometimes I think that's even harder. It's harder for us to press forward knowing that it doesn't come to the battle at the end versus Sauron and all the great things. It's like we have to face an invisible enemy. And And what our main enemy is not just the devil, it's our own flesh that wants us to say, what's the point? But like, we have to continue to press forward. And I don't know. I think for me, that makes more sense because it's like, I thought when 2020 happened and 2021, all that stuff was happening, I really did think, I got to admit, I mean, this sounds cringe now, but I found some comfort thinking like, we're at the end.
Mm-hmm. You weren't alone with that. A lot of people got into that.
Yeah. Like, I thought we're at the end, and I actually thought that's good, because my life was not going as well as it had been in the past. And I thought it'd be better if it ended,
Right.
like not necessarily, I wasn't going to end my own life, but I thought, okay, we're going to go through some rough times, but Christ is going to come back and good, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thought. It's like that.
Yeah.
I'm willing to go through something difficult for my Lord. And if it ends with me being in heaven at the end in a place that has no tears and it's the best you could imagine, well, fine, that's great. But it's almost even a more uncomfortable thought to think you're going to have to live through this world that is going in a downward trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still going to have to live for Christ during this time where there's going to be some tough times ahead of us. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it's,
no, it
like,
does.
to me, that's harder to think that you're going to have to live in this world, despite it being a fallen place. And you're going to have to still pick up your cross every day and do it.
Well, it's interesting because when I started this process, I slowly realized there's no coincidences. And so if we're here in this time, which is one of the greatest times to be alive, I mean, the things that we've seen is amazing. We didn't go through all the wars that they did on those Bible stories yet. So the time that we're in right now, we were here for a purpose. We either somehow chose to be here and said, put me in, coach, or God picked this time to put us here. And so then once I realized that you can, like you said, the book of Job is like my favorite book. I quote all the time. In that book, the devil can do whatever he wants except take his life. And so when you realize that only God can bring you into the world and only God can take you out, at the point when I'm no longer, I've shuffled the mortal coil, that means that I've done whatever it was I was supposed to do in God's eyes. And he's like, okay, it's time to take you off the board. And so I don't fear that anymore, which was like the biggest fear, fear of death. God takes that away from you. And it's the same thing with anything we're struggling. Those are the things you give to God. If you're struggling with alcohol or porn or any kind of vice, you give those up to him and he'll do it. But you have to want it. You have to bring it from a place in your heart that you want to, advance and get rid of these fears and these addictions. And so what I found is that it's a joyful moment to think that, like what we're doing right now, that God said, hey, you have some talent that I gave you and a voice. I'm going to put you on air and you're going to help other people. If nothing else, comfort them during these times as we go through this, so they don't feel alone. They don't feel crazy. And they get some sense of there's a spirit of Antichrist. There's a spirit of Christ. And that's what we're doing. Like you said, we're the saints of this time, and we're professing that God is real. And one of the things that I took out of my vocabulary was the word luck. And so everything to me is a blessing. So something good happens, that was a blessing. And you literally start counting your blessings, and it proves the existence of God. And every once in a while, I know God's with us all the time, and he's always working for us and doing things. But every once in a while, he'll do something that takes my breath away and makes me realize he was listening at that moment. And not everything does he fix immediately. His timeline and ours are different. It says when you pray, he'll answer it and he'll do it, but it might not be in the time that you're thinking. But just the other day, an example of this happened. I had some family issues that were very crushing, and I couldn't take it anymore. And I asked God, I sat with, had my conversation. It's very one-sided. I talk and he listens. And I said, could you treat me like, I think I might've even said like an autistic 5-year-old, like, don't just give me a parable like Jesus likes to do. I want you to do like Moses, write it out for me, the answer to this question on a tablet. And JT, the next morning, Jeannie and I were watching something, and I didn't hear my phone ring, and there was a phone call I was waiting for about this issue that I was discussing, and I didn't get it. And I looked down and I saw that there was a voicemail that I'd missed. And you can, on your iPhone, you can hit transcript. And so I didn't listen to it because we were doing something. I read it, and it was the exact answer to the exact question, and it gave me the piece that I needed. And the hairs on my neck started going up because I was reading a written word on a tablet.
Praise God. It's good.
Right? And so that's the moments that take my breath away, go, whoa, you were listening and you answered me exactly as I know. First thing I said was, if I'm doing this wrong, forgive me. Because I know you're not supposed to like tempt him and tell him to do whatever, but I figured this was within his will and his laws, and it worked. So that's the thing. If we focus on the blessings in our life, and if we focus on our relationship with God, the rest of it fills in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's interesting you brought that up. I think I always think back to that story in the book of Judges about Gideon. And Gideon encounters the angel of the Lord, and he wants to get confirmation this is the angel of the Lord. So he says he's going to put this fleece down. He wants the dew to be only on the fleece and not on the ground. And after he sees that, he says, can you do it the other way? I want the dew on the ground and the fleece to be dry. So like he asked that. And if you read the Old Testament, you're like, God seems like he doesn't have a lot of patience for people.
No, it seems
so it's pretty bold that he asked, but the story that I saw is like that he did it. So again, it comes from like a place in your heart that God knows your intentions. So you're not questioning him, you're asking him a question. And I think as a father, and if you have children, you know how you answer your child when the difference, right? When you're being questioned as a father versus your child asking you a question. Like you're willing to answer that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I kind of think about that story like in, like in Fight Club when they're in the bar and he's saying like, we have no great war. Like we have no like real struggles. Like, but we have like this invisible struggle. And I do think that I don't want to take away from like the generations that had to fight in these great wars and had to really suffer a lot. I don't know, but in some ways it's like we have this invisible battle where we're living in. Like when you think about the rise and falls of empires, right? Like there's a lot of struggle to get to the mountaintop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then to stay on the mountaintop is even more difficult. And that's why like these empires slowly erode. And obviously we're in the downward slope of the American empire. And it feels like we're fighting
on top
like
of the pile longer than anybody at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as far as our lifetime goes, but you really think about it like that, when you do have this really imminent threat in this struggle, you sort of have a binary choice. It's not like an easy thing to do, but like you do this or you do this. But like we live in a place where like, what are we supposed to do? Because the way things are, we face an invisible enemy. We are, again, mostly battling our own flesh. I think that's difficult. I think it's hard because it's like that. It's not always clear day to day, like what we should do with our time and what's the best way to love each other? What's the best way to like take care of your family? Is it about going and chasing those dollars to make sure they're provided for versus like, how do you care for them when they're in your house? Like how do you take care of the people closest to you without the money? What I'm saying? Like there's, I think it's difficult. I think that's really the most difficult thing about the time we live in.
Yeah, because you've got this thought that you have to provide for your family, but then you read the Bible and God's like, "Hey, don't worry about that. I feed the birds, and your hairs are numbered on your head. Don't worry, the money will fill in." And that's that's a tough leap of faith to just say, "Okay."
But Paul also said that you don't if you don't work, you don't eat.
Right. So
right?
there's this balance you got to do, this juggling act. And like someone said in the comments, it's a mental mind game that's extremely stressful and difficult, trying to navigate the real world and the spiritual world at the same time when the rest of the world doesn't even know what you're doing.
Yeah, that absolutely. And I think as Christians, I think that's always like the eternal struggle we deal with, is the fact that like we want to please God. We know pleasing God means loving the people around you. But like, how do you love somebody? It's not always so clear. I mean, it's one thing, again, if it was like a physical threat, like if you were facing a tribulation situation, like, okay, I know I don't deny Jesus. Like if I read the Bible, I know that's pretty clear. But how do you provide for them when like you're like if attackers were like raiding your house? Well, you get in front of them and you fight. Versus like, how do you do it when the threat is unseen? It's encroaching around you. It's flock cameras. It's AI. It's the deep state.
There's that story in what is it? Who's the guy? I'm losing it. The slingshot. David.
Yeah.
David and Goliath. So he gets the power from God to be able to do this. And his brothers are there before he takes off, just mocking the crap out of him. So he probably could have taken them on too, but that's not what the gift was given to him for. He had a purpose, and it was to go fight the giant and do that whole thing. And so we're given this, the power of Jesus, we're given this Holy Spirit, but we have to pick and choose where we're supposed to use it. Like you say, where the battles lie. Am I supposed to go around? I'm not advocating this, YouTube, and cut down flock cameras. No, but maybe presenting the idea or going to council meetings or discussing it. Maybe that's a way to help. I don't know. Cause there's a news story I didn't even post yet cause we're having this great conversation. They're suggesting now they're going to put cameras on garbage trucks so they can monitor your house that way. So let's say, the garbage truck go by and it sees like you've got counters and sinks and large things. So you're doing a remodel that maybe you didn't get a permit for, or you know what I mean? Like the level of surveillance they want to do just keeps amping up. And so at what point, what are we supposed to do about that? And so, it is kind of a balancing act, because you don't want to just sit back and say, God will take care of everything. Because no, you're supposed to do works.
Yeah, well, we're the hands and feet of God. So if we're the body of Christ, we're supposed to be doing what God wants. And so God could send an angel to do all kinds of things, but he sends his saints to do all kinds of things too. So like, we're part of that. But at the same time, if we're the hands and feet of God, we are the body of Christ. We're all different parts of one body. Well, we're not supposed to do everything. So I guess that's the balancing act of the fact that in faith, we know that we can't do it all. So what are we supposed to do? And obviously everything the Holy Spirit's leading you to do, you should do. And obviously if you have a conviction, if like anything I said tonight said, dang, I should actually go to my city council meeting. We got one on Monday. I should go stand up and talk about these things and represent people that are around me and love them by doing things that they're unwilling to do for their own benefit. Now, is that what I'm supposed to do? I mean, I haven't looked at the city council schedule. So like, I mean, maybe I should, but maybe I should do a live stream, just preaching Jesus, talking about all kinds of things we're talking about tonight. And I mean, so far that's what I feel like God's led me to do. But I mean, I think if you're a Christian and you know that God has established a bar that is it always seems a little bit higher than I'm at. So I'm always trying to reach for more. It's like, what should you be doing? Because I think we all, when we're honest with ourselves, we could do more than we're doing right now.
Yeah, that's true. Here, I'll give you that guy. Where is he?
That's very true.
It is.
Yeah. And real quick, I just wanted to thank, I have another from Chad and a couple, let's see. And then
what's going on, Chad?
God bless you,
Trish.
Chad and Trish. And Jeannie's getting some love too. So thank you, Trish. So
yeah, great soap, Jeannie. Smelling very, very good tonight because of that. Or maybe just not bad, maybe at least.
So she said thank you. So okay. Well, I don't know. You want to keep talking? I can go over some more of these things, or just
yeah, I probably got about 10 more minutes.
10 minutes.
That's
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
And then we can, if it's ever something that I could get, say, both of you or the trifecta and throw you all on here, that'd be quite an interesting show. So let me know if that's ever working.
Aaron and
Brian
Demon Racers.
Yeah.
they're on your time, so that would be much easier for them.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll try to get at least one or both of them. It's always fun conversations with you. Okay. I don't know what else I really want to cover because we kind of beat up the whole flock thing. We can finish what do I have in space news? Well, this is interesting because they, you probably have talked about this before too. They had the Operation Fishbowl, where basically they were launching whatever nuclear weapons are. Because I covered a whole thing about the atom bombs, how they're fake, and they're hitting something up there, the dome or whatever. And you can look that up if you're not familiar with the Operation Fishbowl. But they just did it again. What is this? They were talking about, oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the one that 64 years ago, they shot a 1.4 megaton thermonuclear warhead to where the space station now orbits. And here's proof. Like all these videos of the spaceships and these things, who even knows what this is?
That's it. That I want to ask you that. I mean, because I got to be honest, I've never really researched Operation Fishbowl that much. I mean, I'm aware that supposedly they were firing nukes up into the firmament,
right?
But I've actually never looked up what their stated goal with that was, and like what they were said to accomplish with that. Have you ever read that?
I've done things on it a while back, but I think it was like to determine the radiation effects. And if there was to be able to do this at high altitude, they hadn't shot off their nuclear weapons. They've dropped them, right? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But this was to see if they're nuclear weapons, what they, well, here, it even says here, determine if radiation and blast and heat were affected at high altitudes and capable of neutralizing an enemy. And so now we have Space Force.
So where did they shoot the nukes off supposedly when they were doing Operation Fishbowl? Was that in Antarctica?
Here, I'll grab that. Let's see. You're going way back in my research of flat Earth days.
No, I mean, just like it said, it's funny. I've never really considered that because it seems like if you just go based on their model, are they just shooting nuclear weapons up into the sky? That seems dangerous. That seems like a stupid thing to do. Like,
yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, we're just going to see what happens.
Come down.
Right, exactly. It's like you're not supposed to shoot off your pistols during the 4th of July because the bullets might come back down, right?
Yeah.
So
here, all the tests were launched on missiles from Johnston Island in the Pacific Ocean, north of the equator. So, Johnston Island is this. So,
okay.
So that's what they said.
Is that near Alaska, or is that just out in the middle?
Let's see.
It's a dog.
Yeah.
They're looking for the rest of the nuke that fell back down.
Oh, here you go. There's Alaska. But it doesn't say where this island is. It's more mysteries. Let's see. Oh, here. It's right there. South of Alaska, it looks like.
Okay. So that's closer to Hawaii, I guess. It still seems like a stupid, dangerous thing to do, right? Like just shoot it up to not know what's going to happen.
100%. Yeah.
You find out what happens afterwards.
Yeah. Well, that goes right. It leads into the whole whatever the heck CERN is. I think CERN is mostly just they do rituals and some kind of demonic spiritual things. But they say supposedly they got that hydrogen, whatever, collider, and they could potentially open a black hole. And they went, well, we'll give it a shot, and hopefully we won't. You know what I mean? It's like when I first heard that years ago.
I want to say like one of the chief people that worked there said that they might open doorways that things could go in or things might come out of.
Yeah, but originally they said it could open a black hole, which would just swallow up this planet.
Yeah, was it Stephen Hawking who talks with a robot voice? But before that, he talked with the guy. He talked through a guy who looked like Larry Bird.
Yeah, I've done a whole
And
thing on that.
he was saying, he's the one who said that they might open a black hole there that would, I don't know, suck in every bit of the Earth
Destroy us.
into it or something.
Simpsons did it, right? They did it on that show too. They've done all of this. Yeah.
That's silly.
Science doesn't seem to care. They just barrel through and then, find out later. But I don't believe, again, what they say comes out of CERN. I don't believe their story. When you watch the Goddard tunnel rituals,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's all demonic. There's nothing scientific about that. And so when what is it? What was that thing called in the desert? It was the guy from JPL, and it was
the Babylon Working.
Babylon Working, yeah. Where he said that, and it was Aleister Crowley, and he said they opened up a portal with the things that came out, and it freaked him out, and he booked out of there. And
Yeah,
so
that was it. That was what's his name? It was
Parsons, wasn't it?
Jack Parsons, Marvel Parsons.
Yeah. Yeah. So I believe that. I believe that you can summon demons from the other side through portals, but I don't believe CERN is changing reality in the way that they're saying by smashing,
You don't think so?
atoms and stuff.
So if you're a big believer in the Mandela effect, you don't think that CERN is responsible at all for that?
I think they're doing it in some ways, but not what they're telling us. It's like everything else. I think they're trying to take credit for stuff. If you've watched the video, the guy even holds up a sign laughing Mandela and 007, and he's trying to say that they're creating it and they're causing this.
Well,
know.
it's been I wouldn't say it's my theory, but it's been my connections with the movies that I was like, okay, so in the movie Marvel Avengers Endgame is when they have to go through the quantum realm to change the events of the Infinity War to change what happened in the past. And so they make a clear point in that movie to say that through the quantum realm, it's not like Back to the Future. It's not like Terminator, where if you change the present based on changing the past, the people's consciousness in this present day is not going to be changed. They're just going to notice the effects afterwards. So their present will still remember their past. And so when they see the new reality that they're in, they'll be confused. So they're basically kind of setting the deck for the idea that this all takes place in the quantum realm. In CERN, they got this Hadron Collider where they are smashing atoms together and
allegedly,
right? Yeah, but the point is that that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the quantum realm at CERN, and so they're almost kind of explaining what we're experiencing with these Mandela effects,
which again is possible, but I think they're overstating what they're doing. But there is something to be said about it. But here's the weird thing about the Mandela effect. I can see a Mandela effect years before you do. And then all of a sudden you see it like it just happened. And so I don't understand how we can live in the same existence and you wouldn't see it right away. And then all of a sudden you see it, but I've already seen it kind of thing. Like I'll come up with Mandela effects that are new to me. And then I'll have people say, I talked about that 5 years ago or something. So it doesn't hit everyone at the exact same time.
Obviously it's everything that we learn today is new to us, but it doesn't mean it's new. So,
for instance, with me, the Bible, I read the Bible straight through for the first time, 2017. And then the next time I read through it, I was spotting things that had changed, but to other people, they had already changed. But to me, they were changing in real time. So I don't understand how, none of us do, but I don't understand how this works, but it affects us in different ways at different timelines, even though it's,
like I said, it's a situation of noticing. Anything that we talk about today that seems like old hat, we're talking about it. And then I share old reels that I made 3 or 4 years ago, and they weren't new then. And people are like, oh my gosh, that I've never heard that. So the same thing could be true with the Mandela effect, because if we're talking about things we remembered when we were kids, they're different now. When you found out they're different, of course, it depends on your focus and your perspective on the things you're looking into now. But yeah, I agree with that about CERN, is the fact that it's just the same thing where whatever's happening with NASA, it's that people are exposed to all the things they're doing. What they say they're doing we in this community don't believe that's actually what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So what are they doing?
Yeah, because we believe in the spiritual world. We believe in like what do you call it, the witchcraft and all that stuff. That's all talked about in the Bible. It's real. God doesn't say it's fake. He says be careful with necromancy and all these things. These aren't good things to mess with. So whatever CERN is doing, they're masking it by saying they're smashing these collider. You know, what is it? Homer Simpson came up with the God particle. I mean,
Yeah,
come on,
right. Yeah, exactly.
you know?
Yeah. Well,
So
you know, it's funny because as somebody who has not been doing this a long time, I've been doing it about 5 years now, like looking into like lots of the stuff and like talking about it openly, that I've had people recently say, hey, they're shutting CERN down. And I was like,
I've
they
heard
shut
that
it down all the time. It's like, that's not actually a new thing. They do that every year where they shut it down and supposedly they fix it and they make it better and they start it up again. But people are acting like today is like, oh my gosh, it's a big deal. They're shutting it down. I'm like, they do that every year. You know that, right?
And again, we're just being told by the people that are lying to us, this is what they're doing. And the fact that all these YouTube videos came out like, wow, time is now slowed down again. No, it hasn't. I swear I just did this show and here it is again Friday. Like to me, it's sped up. I think I heard it on your show actually. There's that passage that there's time and half a time.
Yeah.
Right. And so I believe we're in that spot of whatever half a time is, because I mean you can prove it with stopwatches and stuff. They don't go the same as they used to. They're much faster. And our lives themselves, it seems like we just started this year and now we're already halfway through it, heading to Christmas.
Yeah, but I mean, is it a situation when again, like you get older, like time goes quicker because you know,
I hear you there, but
you know, like I always say, like if you think that time is slowing down, get on a treadmill.
No, okay.
I bet you won't feel
wait. I wasn't ready for that.
I'm telling you, do something you hate and it will go very slow. Now,
true.
the thing is, like, as you get older and you get in the routine, everything seems to go quicker because you're just kind of like you're going through the motions.
Yeah.
And again, if you have like the whole idea of like the 40-hour work week, again, you're racing to the weekend is super quick because again, like I said, mentally, you're too tired to really enjoy Friday most of the time. Saturday comes and goes, and then by the time you get to Sunday, you're already thinking about Monday.
Right.
So is that a short weekend? It's short because your perspective on the weekend is short because you're not actually maximizing your time.
I can accept that. Yeah.
So I think that again, it's like a perspective thing because like some of the conspiracies we talk about, and I don't ever want to be some kind of a elitist or somebody's pompous saying, oh, we talked about that. It's not a big deal anymore. But the truth is, a lot of people have, through like people like you and I, have learned some of these things. And so when they hear about, oh, CERN's doing this, like, yeah, CERN does that all the time. Like that's what they do, or that's what they say they do, as you said.
Right.
So it doesn't really mean something to necessarily ratchet up the conspiracies to 11 because something's going to happen. Because I also think that as we talked about the alien psyop, they want you to think that there's this grand thing that's going to happen because that is actually part of the power. And that's the magic, is our belief in the thing that they're going to do and giving them more credit than they actually deserve. So what are they doing at CERN? Like who the heck really knows?
No.
But do I spend my nights worrying about what they're doing at CERN? Absolutely not. No, never.
No.
Because because if they were really doing like the things that we would fear the most they're doing, like what can we actually do about it?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's like yelling at the wind.
Right. So, so the Bible tells you all the time to fear not, don't be afraid. So I'm not afraid of these things, but yeah, I think it's good to be aware, but it's also good to know a little bit more about the things you're talking about. But I mean, so many people are just so quick to say, I just learned this thing, I'm going to blurt it out on the internet and therefore everybody's going to freak out and tell me when to panic. And then I'll panic.
Yeah. And then going back to the book of Job, look at all the people that came to tell Job why he was experiencing what he was. And then God just says, everyone shut up because you know nothing. Right. So all we can do is theorize, but there isn't a single YouTube channel, book, movie, production of any kind that people actually know the answers to these things. If there are people at CERN that know what's going on, they're on the wrong side of the team and they're not going to tell us. They're working for the other side. So the fact that there's more than one of those ritualistic openings. There's that whole video they put together where they're dancing on like the ice and stuff. Why are they doing these like ritualistic, demonic dances and spiritual things if it's all science? That makes no sense.
Well, it's definitely not all science. It's funny because actually I just finished a book. Have you ever read that book? It's called Kabbalah Secrets That Every Christian Needs to Know.
No, I have not read that one. No.
It was interesting. It's very esoteric. Honestly, it was a difficult read in spots, but it was kind of talking about through the Kabbalistic view of the creation, the end times and all the things. Eventually, through Kabbalah, science and religion and spirituality was all going to merge together, like through quantum physics. And I started to think about that, the way they're saying, like, you're going to be able to observe like the Kabbalistic teachings through the science. And honestly, I think that that's exactly what's happening there. It's like that, like, we don't understand it because it is very esoteric. And I think that a lot of it is fake because it revolves around their numerology and their magic.
Right.
So like how could we really know? I think this is a situation where like there's the initiated and then there's us. So it's kind of like the situation where if like you wanted to ask a Freemason like what they do in their club, well, some of them don't know because they're not high enough to know, and there's some of them that won't tell you because they are high enough to know.
Right.
So like, how does like you and I know?
We're not gonna, unless
we're not gonna.
Yeah,
we're not gonna know, and like they're not gonna let us know, and we can do our best to infer. But yeah, I think that this is probably the last thing I'll have to say before I have to get off. But I think it is a situation. The more I've learned, the more that I know that I don't know that much, and so I shouldn't take the limited knowledge that I do have to spread fear about the things that I don't know about.
Amen. Yeah. And I'm going to post this real quick to say thank you. Sarah got some money too. Sarah, she's in here somewhere. She got $10. I got to say, and I've seen it in your chat too, that my chat is like the most loving, funny, and generous. And
they are. They're the best.
And God has just created this. I don't go out searching for them. Somehow they find us. And it's such a blessing that he can use me and you as a vessel to continue this message and to help take away the fear and help give people encouragement. And for the people that haven't discovered their relationship with God, to encourage that as candles in the window, that you and I are saying, look, our lives have improved so much, even with all the craziness going on in the world. Once you give yourself over to this, you get the Holy Spirit in you, and you find out that the world is not as scary as they want you to believe, because God says fear nothing, and the world says fear everything.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, the light does not fear the darkness. The darkness fears the light. The light overcomes darkness. So anyways, on that note, I'm going to bounce out of here. I appreciate giving me the opportunity. Hope I didn't wreck your show by like messing up your tabs, but we'll have to do it again.
JT, thank you for coming on. I really enjoy our conversations. We'll do it again where we can plan it and then we'll figure it out. But thanks again. It's such a pleasure.
Anytime.
God bless you.
Take it easy. God bless you guys.
And there he goes. I think there he goes. Wow. How fun was that, Jeannie? That was great. Yeah. How exciting. And let's see, in honor of JT. Oh, I don't know if you're still watching, JT. Did you see this? The Levi Nix posted this. He's assembling a team because we like to talk about movies and stuff. So just in case if you didn't see that. And what's left? Let's see. Let's go down here. Yeah, so that was JT. If you're not familiar with his channel, I don't know he can be if you're here, but it's JT follows JC. And I'm sure if Trish already hasn't, she'll put it in the chat. And what a fun chat. I like chats that we have together. And JT, one last thing, if you're still watching, you inspired this one. If you haven't seen this.
What is that? What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
So there we go. Okay. Wow. So yeah, the best. I think so too. What a fun night. What a wonderful fun night. Yes. Thank you so much, JT. Okay. Well, shoot, I've gone 3 hours. So I think it's time to put a fork in this one, and we'll finish up those tabs next week, because I always have more things than I can usually finish up. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. It's such a blessing that I can be this voice in the wind, and that you show up here every week, and those of you that are coming later to watch it afterwards. I just want to once again, dear Lord, please continue to guide us through these times. Watch over us and help us, heal us, and help us have the understanding and the patience to wait for those that we're still waiting for to get through this and understand what we're talking about on these channels. And as God says, let's say prayers for them and not hold anger in our hearts, because we were them just until God decided to open our eyes. And so as we continue to go through these times, may the Lord place the Holy Spirit and fill your hearts with joy and comfort you, as he's promised he will send the Comforter. Please do that right now to anyone listening to the sound of my voice. Dear Lord, please send the Comforter and help us through these times, and fill our hearts with joy so we can continue to do our works here and bring more people home through the way, the truth, and life of Jesus. And we thank you for this time. And I thank you for being the vessel that you chose to do this time on this channel every Friday night. In Jesus' name, amen. And let's do this again soon. If nothing else, same bad time, same bad channel. Next Friday night, check your local listing, 6 p.m. on West Coast. And having said that, we're going to dismiss the class.
Class is dismissed.
And what a treat to have JT on, and I can't wait to have another discussion, hopefully soon. And thank you all again for being here. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. We've got this. Don't worry. We've got it. Good night, everyone. God bless you.
I'm the satellite.
$500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
Satellite transfer complete.